I'll just say hello to the stream. This is OK here. And I'm with CrazyHome. Hi there, CrazyHome.
Hey.
And Opera says he's just coming. So what we're going to do is we're going to so placement CrazyHouse. So in placement CrazyHouse, you set up the first 2 ranks, and then we're going to transfer that position over into CrazyHouse and play a CrazyHouse game. Yes. So Opera's complaining that in placement you're only able to place the first rank, not the first 2 ranks. That's true, but we don't have the software to.
And I think the default is second rank to be pawns, right?
It is normal, yeah. Okay, so Oppa's in. Oppa's joined the lobby, and we're
ready.
In. Okay, so what we should have discussed. What should we do? Should we have a castle king already? Or is that too dangerous with the rooks here and here? And
let's keep a random position and then try maybe the worst kind of position and try to see if we can.
No. You have to be. We have to be very strategic about this, CrazyHome. We're up against the best. we need maximum strategy. So here's my idea: keep the king till last. Keep the king guessing till last which side it's going to be.
Oh, okay. So how does this work? So Opper places a piece and then you place a piece and so on and so forth?
Oh, he wants a rematch. He wants to be black. He's insisting he wants to be black.
Ready.
Okay, yeah. So I'm going to go with rook on the center. But so tell me. So I have an idea.
Okay.
I have an idea for a future one where we can actually, where we set up the opponent's pieces to be really annoying.
Okay.
But for this one, we're going to be okay. So he puts the bishop on the diagonal. So you see, if you want to set up the opponent pieces, you put the bishops in the center. You put the knights in the corner. You'd be like really annoying like that.
Yeah.
So where should we put our dark squared bishop? Face off.
I like A1 or H1.
Okay, so let's do that then.
But, it's quite natural to put it on the same diagonal as your opponents because otherwise you will have an unopposed bishop here.
Yes. Or you'd have to rejig it. Okay, so it seems like yeah. Okay, that was forced.
That bishop will be too strong. For example, if we have kings, and if we place anything on G1, for example, after bishop H8, if I put, I can't put a knight on A1, obviously. So if I put a king on A1, that's suicide. A rook is also bad.
Yes.
And if I put a queen, it's stupid. Yeah.
Yeah, so it's funny, in the chat he says, I try to make it non-symmetric, but I like the bishops here. Now the funny thing is, if we want the game to be symmetric, because we're white, it's a fun, logical problem, we can force it to be symmetric. You place any first move, and then for every future move, you place the exact opposite of what he places, and it will force the position to be symmetric. But we don't have to do that. I was just joking. This is like a...
I think where do you want to castle?
I want to leave it a little bit of surprise, but maybe on the queen side. But
and when you typically castle on the queen side, you the B1. I mean, you have
knight
to waste
D1.
the move with the king D1.
How about knight on D1?
On D1, so I'm just thinking if I okay.
So knight on D1 controlling
C1.
Sorry, say it again.
F2. Yeah, F2 is a little tender usually. So okay. So if you're putting knight on D1, then I think we should put a knight on G1, and then the king on F1.
What about a king on G1 and a queen on F1?
And I mean, queen on F1 will be a little too passive, maybe. I'm just thinking of if I castle on the king side, which is what I'm doing with king G1, then I don't mind putting king G1, knight F3, So I've got f2 and h2 covered, so I won't worry about my uh, pieces as yet. Put my queen on c1 and maybe a rook on b1, and then push my pawns on the queen side. Um, just don't do anything about my king side. Just leave it as is and
So
just go for it.
what do you recommend for the next piece?
Let's maybe just put a king on g1 and see what he does.
Okay, but shouldn't we keep the king a little bit as a suspense? Like if you show up your king, you're kind of giving him a lot of information. So I think we should save that a little.
I think see now with the way things are, king b1 is quite ruled out because
Yeah, so I don't want to place the king.
maybe
Is what I'm trying to say. Let's not place the king because
mhm.
it gives him too much
uh,
information.
okay, knight f1,
Knight f1. Okay.
g1. Sorry,
Knight g1.
I don't know. I'm not very comfortable. Okay, say knight.
So g1 would give away we're not putting our king on g1. So that would be
Okay, well, how about knight f1?
okay. But now that gives away where our king is, though.
Yeah, definitely. But what is he going to
We,
do with his rooks and
I think he was smart because
stuff? Let's see.
he left a big space. Hmm.
Yep.
Okay, so his king is definitely okay. So queen on b1. Okay, maybe queen is also a lot of information. Rook, rook,
c1.
rook. Where? c1.
c1.
You think c1?
Yep. Yep.
Not queen c1. Okay, rook c1. I was thinking queen c1. Okay,
He wants in the
queen or
center.
king. So you said
Queen on B. Yep.
queen. Sorry, what did you say?
B1.
b1.
B1. B1.
You
Yep.
want b1? Okay. So we're both going to be
He
castled.
knows what. Will not castle at all. Um, okay. Good.
Okay.
Um,
So what we do is we resign this. Okay.
You lose.
And we're
Way
going to
too
just
early, but
that was quick, I know. And now we're going to set up a game of Crazyhouse. Yeah, exactly.
okay.
So pie chess, um, create a game of Crazyhouse, and should I just surprise him? I say we're going to be white. We're going to take no, we're going to be black. We're going to take your pieces. Okay, so we're going to be white rated. 7+7 seems reasonable. Okay, we'll keep white. This would be a good point to say, actually, I'm going to trick you. We're going to be black now.
Yeah. Yeah. That'll upset him a lot. And next time he's going to have the worst kind of
Yeah, exactly. And then
pieces
the
for
next
us.
time he sets it up badly. Yeah, exactly. That'd be fun. That's what I'm thinking of doing next. So we set it up badly on purpose. Okay. So let's see. Can you see what we're doing?
I'm clicking on current games. Nothing yet.
No,
Okay.
no. So lobby. I'm telling him to go to the lobby. So it's a casual game of Crazyhouse. And
Ready.
we're in. Okay, so can everyone see who's on the stream? Can you see everything? Yep. Hopefully we have people. We haven't had any chat yet, but let's go. Okay, so what should we develop
Here's the
first?
idea.
E4, C4,
We go B4.
B4.
We
Okay.
don't touch. So the idea is, yep, we don't touch any of our pawns right from E through H. We just push C4, B4. We'll try to see if we can push D4 as well, um, and let's see where that goes.
Yep. So C4,
D4. Yep.
C4. Yep. So he's left C7, by the way, unprotected for now. Not that that matters, but just out of interest.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm slightly annoyed we don't have a knight on f3, but okay. E4.
At some point, we have to develop the bishop, so it is a little annoying, like you pointed out. But I
E4
don't
maybe.
mind making a move like no e4 is killing our queen. So maybe knight c3, and trying for knight d5. I would love to exchange that knight for the bishop.
Oh, he's not going to take it. He's just going to go f5, hitting it.
Mm. That's okay. I mean, I don't mind wasting a move if I play knight c3 and knight
I
d5
feel we
and
we
white.
should. Yeah, I see. You don't want to block off our bishops. Um,
Yes.
hmm.
If I play a move like d3, then I'm blocking my queen, which is a shame.
Yeah. Well, what
Yeah.
about
Either
knight?
we
What
go
about not?
knight
What I have an
e3,
idea. Knight e3 to d5.
d1 to e3 to d5. Yes, sounds good. Or the other idea is you move one knight to c3, the other knight to e3, and then you come in on d5.
Yeah. But so which one knight to e3? That's the question.
I think we should move the f1 to
Yeah, that was my original plan. Yeah.
bishop stays developed. He doesn't have d5, and we are ready to play knight c3, and then it looks a little awkward for black.
I'm keen on
I
just
don't
going
know, maybe
knight d5 straight away. Sitting a pawn. If he goes f6, we could just back off. But
yes, yes. I mean f6. You mean c6? Yeah.
c6. Yeah.
Otherwise, yeah, it makes sense. Key thing is we have a good space advantage, and we should make good with that. And
So technically we
those
didn't.
two knights that we
So I was going to say technically we didn't set up a 960 position because the king was not in between the two rooks. So we can't
but
castle.
I think
Okay, so knight
uh,
c3 or straight to d5.
just a curious thing. If I were to try to castle now, will the king land upon f1 and the rook? I mean, the king will land upon g1 and the rook on f1.
There are no takebacks, so I can't risk it.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, if you try to move the king two steps in on the rook, it won't be a
Like I
take
said,
back. But I'm just curious.
I can't test it because
Yeah,
otherwise
yeah. I'm just curious.
I'll lose a
Yeah,
move.
yeah, yeah. I'm just curious.
Yeah, I know. I'm curious
Yeah,
too.
I'm just curious.
So what time is running out?
Bishop knight,
So what do you say?
knight d5.
Knight d5.
Go with knight d5. Yep. It's a funny possibility, right? You
I know.
suddenly get your rook on
There was a
f1.
there was a funny there was a funny game just last week where someone pre-moved something. Pre-moved a recapture. I think it was Pepe. Pre-moved a recapture. I think that's forced. Pre-moved a recapture, and the capture didn't take place, but it was king takes rook, and so he accidentally castled. And that was in a league match. He thought his rook was going to get captured, so he was recapturing pre-move.
Don't you think that this position is good for us? I mean, that backward pawn on c7 and the rook is already open, and I
Yep.
don't know. I like my position.
Yeah, bishop takes knight is like a mistake, basically. I feel.
I think he had very less choice. I mean, otherwise he had to play c6, killing in effect two pieces, the bishop on a8 and knight on c6,
Okay,
and both would have
e4
been dead and gone.
or develop bishop.
No, no, definitely not e4. G3, yep.
You don't like e4.
Oh, I would never play e4. E4 is killing the queen and the bishop at one shot. I would not play it even if for. I don't mind losing the pawn on d5, but never a move like e4. I would never play that.
It's solid though. And Cole Alves in Twitch chat. So we have chat. Why is Oppa 1500? He is at least 2800 because he's never played any Crazyhouse on this site. Because this is after all a variant website, not a. Okay, so this not really a Crazyhouse site normally.
Now, if I play d6, I lose the pawn right outright. So the only choice that I have is knight e3.
That's not true that we lose it outright. We got bishop c7 if we want to.
Oh, it's a crazy house. Yes. Uh, no, but if the knight comes to f5, then it's attack twice.
Oh, that's true, yeah. But it's Crazyhouse,
Five.
remember. We could just take it. We could go bishop e7, knight takes, pawn takes knight, rook takes.
I think we should
You think
just
I'm just being
develop
too crazy?
normally. And
You think I'm being too crazy?
yeah, I
I
think we
think I
should
think
just
so. I
develop
think I think
normally.
so.
Play knight e3. Yeah.
So what do you suggest?
Yeah.
Knight f3.
Knight e3. No, knight e3. Yeah.
Ah, you're blocking out the
It's
beautiful
not
e pawn.
f3.
I want knight f3 e4. Well, we're going to fight about this, aren't we? But what's your plan for the e pawn? Just leave it there.
What's
Okay.
happening with the e pawn?
Yeah. What's the future of the e
Knight
pawn?
e3. So just leave it.
Okay. Knight
Yeah,
e3.
just leave it there. Yep.
Okay. I just realised his pawn is hanging. We didn't have to defend our pawn at all. Oh no, it's not hanging. The bishop's defending it. Gosh, I'm blind.
I think
Okay.
we
Yeah.
should, we should watch out for a move. We should watch out for a move like
Knight
knight
h3.
h3.
Yeah.
Yeah, we should be a little bit careful. If we give away major piece, it'll be knight h3 and rook g1, a funny mate. Yeah.
Yeah. So what should we do now?
Do you want to recapture the pawn with the bishop, the knight, or just leave it? So that's the question. Very interesting. Pretty
I think
solid,
bishop.
knight
I
e3.
think bishop actually.
I think I have too many light square holes. If I take with the bishop,
Bishop's
I'm not
strong.
very
He
comfortable
can't take that
around.
bishop. If you take back, you have a pawn in hand, which you're threatening to drop on c7, on e7. You have a knight in hand, which you're threatening to drop on f6, which is creating a blocker. We're also getting a pawn. If we really care about defense, we can drop a pawn on g2.
Go ahead. It's an interesting move. And either way, I think both the moves are almost equally good. So
He already has a knight, though. I did forget that. Eek. But yeah, I don't want to give him another
that's
knight.
why I said knight h3. That's why knight h3, and that's why I said, okay, fair enough.
Okay,
I think
don't worry.
this is.
Bishop g2. Bishop g2. This is the moment.
Yep, bishop g2 is decent. I don't mind giving that.
Okay, e takes or f takes.
Okay. D into.
Is it d takes or f takes?
I think it is D. It's
Yeah, it's a
the
bit safer.
D into. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So we have quite a solid king, which is quite nice actually. Not bad, not bad.
I think we have a lot of holes to go
Okay, so
into. It looks like cheese.
at c7 is an obvious threat. Is there something
It
more?
is obvious.
Is there something more
He's very
direct?
confident.
Bishop c7 is also an idea, but no,
He's very. Nah, that's not. I think C7 is not bad.
we should go for it. Yeah.
Find a move. There's an interesting idea here. Just think about it. How about looking at a move like Queen F5 and preparing it with Bishop G5 maybe. I mean, he doesn't have pawns. Just remember. So if I got in a move like Bishop G5 where I win a tempo and he protects it somehow, then the next move is going to be Queen into F5 and then Knight at 6. I kind of like my position with that.
Bishop g5, rook c8. You take the rook.
No. He will not move the rook. He has to do something. I think he has to do something drastic like F6.
And then we just go c7 next.
We go knight queen to F5 and knight at 6.
No, if he does something like f6.
6 is queen into F5.
f6, queen into f5. I'm worried you're sacking a bit too much, and we should get some material first.
We have 2 pawns in hand.
Okay, I'm taking that
We're doing
rook.
good.
I think
Don't
we go for material. We got to go for material here.
Why not queen into F5?
Why not? Okay, so queen into f5 takes the queen. Let's calculate it. Knight h6 check. King g7 forced. Knight takes pawn check. No, bishop takes pawn check.
King.
Bishop takes pawn check.
Yep. No. Yep. That is also
No,
possible.
maybe knight takes pawn check. Knight takes pawn check. We got maybe okay, but he can
It's
step
too
up.
good to ignore.
So bishop takes pawn
I think
check.
it's too good to ignore. No, no, no. Queen to f5. Just play queen to f5. We'll think about it.
Just think about it later. He can actually sack
Let's have
queen.
fun. Yeah.
He can sack his queen back though. Thing is, we had a lot of
Yep.
material on offer. Racing King's King
Yep.
says nice. We had a lot of material, by the
Yes.
way, on offer ourselves that we could have really cashed in on, and I feel we missed out.
Check.
Knight h6. Let's go. Let's have some
Yeah, but
fun.
we should. Okay, it's a really nice idea, Crazyhome, but I really think we should have cashed in on the material which we had on offer. We had like a rook on offer, maybe a knight.
Okay.
You see, whereas this, we've only got
He
like
doesn't
a.
want to fit.
It's
I
like
think it's an exchange, right?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
It's just been an
But my
exchange when
point
we could have really cashed in on a lot of material. That's what I'm thinking.
but, but my point is that his king side is not looking very good now.
I know, it's
I
true.
don't like. Yeah.
G7 at
So
G7.
probably G7.
Should we
At
go
G7,
at
you must
G7?
remember that knight is also protecting the hips. Yeah, no, but knight e6 is protecting the squares. We have to be a little careful.
Okay, takes the bishop.
Okay, bishop into. Yep, bishop take the bishop.
So we're threatening mate now. Okay, now I want to take bishop takes pawn if I can, but
Mm-hmm.
can I? Bishop takes pawn.
Why don't we play c7 now?
Yeah,
Does
C7
he
now.
have
Get a
any fast?
knight. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm. He doesn't have a fast move as yet. Knight into f2 is a possibility. Yep, he plays it.
Okay, there's a threat here. So
Joe.
knight h3 is a threat, isn't it? Knight h3 takes. He'll definitely be mating us. Okay, so we need to defend. Queen
Queen
h4.
h4.
Queen h4. Is that what you said? Your sound just cut out a moment.
Yes. I agree with you, but the bishop into d8 looked nice, but this was a little too tempting. Into
Yeah,
f5 idea.
yeah. I just
Yeah,
wondered
it
if
looked.
we could delay, if it might still exist a move later and just pick up more material first and then do it. Because I was thinking take the rook, then drop on c7, take another piece, and then go queen f5, that kind of thing.
See, now the thing is that his back rank is cleaned up. So if we just take care of the sensitive h3 and f2, I think we have a good thing going here. We are pretty solid except for that f2 hold. So if we get that, if we can get into c into d8, if he allows c into d8, I think he's in trouble because it comes with a lot of pain.
Yeah, if he just does something like knight h3, no, knight h3 just doesn't work. We just go bishop takes, right?
Maybe bishop e7. I don't know.
No, if he
It
go,
is a tough call for him. It's
yeah, I
not
mean,
easy.
if he throws away the knight on h3, which piece takes it? Just queen takes, I guess. Okay, so he does this. So now I take on
He's
d8.
building his position.
Take on d8.
I think no, I think he has a good idea here. The idea is bishop at h3 and then he plays pawn f2 check, and then I go king g1. Then he recycles a little bit.
Yeah, his idea
Mm,
is knight h3. So knight h3. What's the response? Queen takes knight. He has nothing.
something
Oh,
like
he
this.
does have something. He's got 2 pawns. Pawn there,
Yeah,
check. King there.
f2, f2.
Queen there.
Yeah, it's
Takes.
mhm.
Takes back. Oh yeah, f2. He's got 2 pawns for f2. Ooh, so he does have something.
No,
Okay.
so it's okay. I think we can go king g1, and then after he takes one rook, knight f2 check, and then we go king g1. I don't see much happening.
Rook f1?
Let's take c into d.
No, he has mate. So knight h3, knight h3,
Mm-hmm. Bishop into h3.
bishop
h3.
No, bishop h3 is mate in 2. Queen f2 takes h2.
Oh, I missed that.
So queen
I missed
takes,
that.
but then he has a back rank mate with at f2, queen g1, takes, at f2 again with his second pawn, takes.
But my king
Then the bishop, and
with
then
the
the rook.
first check, my king will sidestep, right?
Sorry?
First check, I sidestep with king h1, right? So
No,
my
then the
king
other
is
knight, then
not
knight
on the
f2
board.
is mate. King h1, knight f2 is mate. Knight h3, king h1, knight f2, checkmate.
No, I'm saying knight h3, queen into h3.
Yes. At
So
f2,
h1.
queen g1,
Okay.
takes.
Rook into g1. Okay, I'm too slow for this. Yeah.
Takes. You have to
Yes.
go king takes, so you get smothered.
Good
Then he's
move.
got a second pawn who clears out the second rook.
Okay. So do you want to quickly just play rook f1?
It's the only move I can think of.
The idea. I mean, knight g4 was a nice strong move.
It's a
I was
trick.
just
It's a trick move because it's so tempting to take that rook. And if you take that rook, you get checkmated. Hi there, IMC Jebs and Racing King's King and Cole Alves. So
g5. Okay.
I just
Upper and his tricks. Too many tricks, yeah?
okay. So if we
What's
take,
the trick?
can we take a rook?
Can we take the bishop?
No,
What's
no.
happening if we take the bishop?
Knight h3. Knight h3.
Okay. Bishop
Uh,
h3.
no, same. Oh yeah, bishop h3. Oh yeah, knight h3.
We miss
Bishop
something.
h3.
Sometimes I'm too stupid, so just correct me if I'm wrong.
Oh no,
Or
there's,
is he
there's something else. There's something else. Hang on a second. Queen h1. Bishop takes. Knight h3.
I
King
think,
to g2. Hear this out. Knight takes e3. King takes knight on h3. And then pawn on g5. Pawn on g5. King to h5. King to h5. And then he has nothing, right?
I don't know what's happening with queen into g5. Seriously, I mean, I
So,
don't know whether my
just
calculation.
hear out the line. Queen at h1. Queen takes g5. Queen at h1. Bishop takes queen. Knight h3. King g2. Knight takes e3. King takes h3. At g4 check. King h4. It seems okay, right?
It looks okay. Looks okay. That's what it sits at h4. And how does he
It's
mate?
very close. It's very, very close. But he doesn't have any checks on h4.
Let's
Unless he had something else planned entirely, obviously. It looks okay.
If it's beyond us, it's beyond us. Let's go.
Okay. So Giles says, Oppa sounds so clear. We're not. This is a
Check.
CrazyHome on the line. So he does do this line.
Check.
Oh, it's just simply taking the queen.
Simple.
Okay. So it is this just sort of simple trade of queens.
We overthought.
No, I mean, yeah. Well, no, we were worried about mate.
I think
it's always good to be worried about mate, right?
yes.
It's quite hard to defend h3. Queen back on h4. That's not very good.
We can play queen h4. We can play queen h4 or bishop h3. I mean, bishop h3 kills his attack for a couple of moves.
Knight takes e3. Knight takes e3, and then he takes our bishop.
Okay. So queen h4 is the only move.
Well, queen h4, pawn at h2, and h3. You really want to give up your queen.
I just move king g1, right? So
Oh
what's
yeah,
happening after
yeah,
that?
that's true. King g1, not so clear. Okay, so queen h4, knight takes e3, king comes back. Okay, queen h4 again. Let's just do it.
Yep. It seems fairly forced.
Yeah, so this is CrazyHome
Time
on
to
the
do
line.
it
Do
now.
you want to say anything about yourself, CrazyHome? Famous Crazyhouse player from originally from India.
I think I'm one of the few Indians who's playing Crazyhouse.
Well, yeah, we've had people like Nihal Sarian or Pragnanda maybe playing the 1 or 2 games on Lichess, but no regulars. Crazy Maharajas is the other one, the historian of
Crazy
Crazyhouse.
Maharaja. I don't think Crazy Maharaja is from India. He's from somewhere else.
Oh, really? Okay. So where's he from originally? Or is it
No, he's
secret?
never told me, but
Check.
I, I mean, even if. Oh, okay. What's happening here? I think there's some knight into f3 and then exchanging queens to our general detriment.
Can I
I
put a
think
bishop on
king.
f3?
I don't know whether I want to feed him. Should I just go king g1?
So you're afraid of knight takes e3 takes queen, yes? Yes, that's what you're afraid of. So king back to g1. Okay.
If this is wise, but yeah.
Yep. He's added us so much time, it's only fair that we give him.
He added his time. I was wondering how we got so much time.
Yeah, he added us. Giles says he's just
It's
waking up.
actually
He's a bit out of
two
material.
people playing. Sorry, yep.
Sorry, what do you say?
Check.
Yeah. Okay.
Playing is a little tricky, actually, if you see.
Yeah, this is good. Bishop f2. He's
Two
winning.
is
He's winning a rook though. Bishop f2.
That's okay. I think, I mean, yep, bishop f2. Just go for
It's
it.
kind of annoying, and if he takes the rook, just ignore it. That'd be a fun thing to do. No, if he goes takes bishop, we kind of have to take it. Takes bishop. It would be so wonderful if we
He
didn't
takes that rook into f2, and then he gives a check. Bishop f1. We're pretty solid. I mean, and then he can't afford to give us a knight because with all those holes on the king side,
Hang on. So after knight
knight
takes bishop,
f6.
I'm just thinking of moves where we don't take back the knight. Like, if we don't take back the knight,
We
does
just
he have
take.
mate?
I love to take a knight. See, rook into f2 is like queen to c1, bishop f1. His attack is dead, and we are coming in with knight f6. Yep.
He's winning a lot
So
of
we are not
material
bothered
though.
about the rook. I think it'll be mate with knight f6 and stuff like that.
Oh, you're right. Knights are good. Okay, you want the knight, so okay, we'll take it.
Yes, take the knight. Take the knight.
Okay.
Let's go for broke.
So you could just go queen takes rook, queen takes c7.
Check.
By the way. Okay, so what should we do here? Bishop,
Bishop f1.
rook f1.
F1, bishop e3. It's just murder.
That's true. So bishop f1.
Question is whether he has time for a move like bishop e3. As it's making him think.
Okay, so if I
See,
take
he
his
has time.
queen and he takes the rook, he's letting us take the queen. So takes the rook. What's the follow up?
The rook with.
Oh,
No,
sorry.
that's not a
We don't have a rook on a1. Oh no. It's just so used to me there being a rook there. I don't even look, It's peripheral vision. That's so hilarious. Okay, so knight at d3. Yeah, knight at d3. How about that? Knight at d3. CrazyHome,
Hmm.
you there?
I think, I think we should play knight to d3. It looks like
Yes. Good.
this is a bad position for us. I mean,
check,
he overran us with some good moves.
Okay, king takes was forced, so I just played it. Well, I don't know. We still, if he hasn't got mates, then I think.
Can't say I'm surprised to be outplayed by Opposition, but yeah,
check,
uh, okay, king
some
g2 or knight back is also an option, but then he takes the knight and takes the rook. King g2, what does he do? He goes check, queen takes, knight takes, threatening mate.
no, he'll just go with the bishop. Yeah, he'll go with the bishop check.
Bishop, we have to go queen takes, bishop, knight takes. We don't have anything fast. You have a
King
queen,
g2 is the only move.
or queen e1 is the other one.
E1, yeah,
Queen e1.
queen e1.
Should we do that? Because
E1, rook e1,
knight
knight
e1, I just feel he's
e1,
just
then
going to take, and
e2.
he's just got too much.
You do with a simple move like bishop f2 after everything.
Yeah, actually, I'm more afraid of queen e1 at c2.
Ah,
that's the killer.
g2 is also bad. I mean, we don't have anything. He just made us expand everything. Like bad enough to almost consider resigning.
Queen e1, should we try for
Mm.
to avoid?
Yep, yep. Go ahead, queen e1.
So my idea is if something like at c2, then try and counter with
check,
takes rook. Knight
I
takes.
think, I think yeah, knight into e2, and then see he's going to play a simple move like bishop into f2, and we're looking very silly there.
check,
Okay, he's doing something fancy. Ah, idea is we can't even take queen to h3 because then g1 is getting mated. Two, then queen f. Oh, queen h1, may queen h1,
What about
rook
bishop
e1,
g2? Bishop g2, queen h1, rook g1.
queen h1. Yeah.
So that works.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay. It's looking funny, right? Ah, my, he's just piling on the midway.
Okay, bishop. He's getting a knight for a smother. Bishop c3.
Probably yes.
But then he promotes. Okay.
Uh,
Um,
this game has really run away from us.
Bishop c3 seems to be the best hope. Hope he forgets about promotion.
I think we'll play d1 queens.
Yeah, d1 queen is good. But not mate yet. I mean, then we can take his rook.
Yeah, we have been dreaming of taking his rook for a long time now.
Yeah, we have. Yeah.
check,
Hi there, chat.
I think that was a very slow move that we did, right? That's at c7 is, in hindsight, looking worse by each passing minute.
check,
Oh yeah, he actually had a quick one. Hang on, he had bishop takes bishop, rook takes, queen takes rook mate.
He's going for a very simple thing. He's just going to liquidate everything and then
Okay,
start
but he had
playing
mate in
e3.
two. He had mate in two here. Bishop takes bishop. Oh, knight takes. Yeah, knight takes. Bishop takes bishop. Knight takes forced. Then
Let's play. We have 15
anyway.
seconds.
Okay,
King
we'll
into
play it.
g1.
We'll play it. Just trying to get back to the current position. King g1. Yes.
check,
Got to take it. Or I get mated.
check,
Ah,
Pawn and a rook are coming, so I go down.
check,
He's giving up one of his rooks, which I have to take.
check,
f2. Yeah,
He's giving
and
away
then
the other rook, which rook g1 is mating.
mate.
Yep.
check, you lose,
Ooh.
Ah.
Okay, so I'm going to go rematch, and I want to play with Opus pieces now.
I think we went well in the opening, but Probably that bishop into d8 was a better decision than my queen into f5. It was too flashy. Maybe I think we were a little too quick with at g7. What does Opper think? Where was the mistake?
Let's see if I've got any chat here. No.
I was not very happy with at g7. I think we had very less stuff to place on the board after at g7. Yeah, a sedate move like queen f5, queen f3 was more called for, or even queen h5. You know, more reasonable than
So I'm running it
with that
through
g.
analysis, and while that's open, let's just open another tab, and then we'll have a quick look through it. So set up placement. I want to play placement as white. Okay. And so what we're going to do now, by the way, is
We'll play a game with black and see how he places his
so
pieces.
he says in the lobby, I thought white was winning if bishop at d6 earlier in the game.
Ready.
Okay, so we're playing a game of placement. This time we're going to set up his pieces really badly. So tell me where to put his pieces. And I'm still having a look at this game.
Should I close this position
No,
and
no,
go
you
to
can open it
your?
in a new tab. I'm going to keep this one open. I'm going to come back to it. I'm going to
Okay.
come back to it in a second, actually. But we're just setting up. We're going to set up his pieces really badly. So
Okay.
where should we put his knights on
Let-
knight on h1, right?
Oh, we set his pieces for him.
Yes.
No, let's not do that. That's a little too cruel. Let's just bother about our stuff. We'll
No,
just
no.
put
This
our
is
stuff
the
for.
game. This is the game. So he's setting up our
Okay.
pieces, and I'm setting up his pieces, and we're trying to. I said to
Okay.
him in chat, both of us are setting up the other's pieces to be a nightmare. And Oppa said,
Then
"Smiles, king on
good stuff.
e1."
King on e1 is very good in my opinion. Okay, let's go with knight h1. Yes. So he's playing white now.
Yeah, he'll be playing white. Yeah. Oh, oh, yeah, that's true. That's true.
And d8.
Okay, knight on.
So this is our king. That's our king on d8.
Yeah.
If our king is on d8, we have to place his bishops really bad so that we don't get killed. Okay, queen on h8. He's really piling it on. Okay, let's see what we can make of it. You're sure we can castle, right?
No.
And castle.
No, we can't castle. If he puts his rooks, if he doesn't put the rooks either side of the king, we can't castle.
You know what he's doing? He's going to just put all the major pieces there on the king side
Yeah, let's do that as well.
and speed it up right.
Should we do that as
Yeah.
well? Just copy him.
Keep one piece on top of the other, unfortunately.
Okay, where should we put the bishop? Bishop on b1? No, bishop on b1's too good. Bishop on d1, maybe.
F1, maybe? Oh, okay, bishop on d1. Okay.
Yeah, king on c1. That's my maybe.
C1 looks good with the queen on h8.
Yeah, good. So king on c1. So we're going to go king on c1. Queen. Where are we going to put the queen? Queen away from the king. So rook will place first on b1. Oh, but then he can castle. That's terrible. I'll tell him the chat. Make it so we can castle. So castling is possible.
Last game, the opening phase, we played very well, but we messed up the transition to the middle game.
He did. He did. I asked him to make it so castling possible. He did. He didn't listen to us. Okay. Okay. He says, "Nope, I'm not going to let castling be possible." Okay. Unfortunately, we've allowed castling for him.
Victory.
Okay. That's
Now
not fair.
let's
I
see
think he
what we
did a
can
better
do to beat
job
this
setting
position.
up the pieces. Okay. So now we're going to
That's okay.
create a game of Crazyhouse.
Dwight, he has to.
Should we say we're going to be black just to surprise him? So we're going to be white. What do you think? Do you want it white or black in that position?
Let's be black. Let's be fair.
Let's
Let's
see.
not do this.
Okay. Okay, we'll be black. And Alpha says last one before dinner because it's
Ready.
5:30 where he is, and his clock is ticking down. So while he's ticking down, what was happening in this position? It was all very much he was winning, even from this point. Queen h1 is a nice move. Yeah, queen takes g5 was a mistake. Should have ignored that bishop and gone for the rook. So what should we play here?
Let's think about our knights. They're the ugliest stuff to take care of. So where should our bishop go? My bishop is doing all right. I can play c5 right away.
I want f5.
Let's play c5.
Can we play f5?
It's too loosening. A king like that, I think we have to be a little careful. I'm okay with c5. We are attacking the h2 pawn right away. And
Okay, c5.
let-
So Jal says we're teaming up against Oppa. Yes, that's right.
bishop into h2.
Oh,
Why
okay.
not?
And then he takes on c5.
Why not? Yep, c5 is coming. Okay.
That doesn't look good. Can we play d6? No, that's terrible.
d6 is good. d6 is good. Yeah.
Well, it's blocking us off, but okay.
But b6 is impossible. b6, queen a6 is like disaster.
Yes. I feel like king is too open. You see what he's doing? He's just blowing open the center.
Yeah, he'll just do that.
Takes.
Take the pawn, and move maybe g5. Yep.
Okay, I'm going to quickly pop back to that previous game. So he played.
No, don't do that. This is a very bad position. We have to think very carefully. Don't do
Okay.
that. Let's concentrate on this. Yeah.
I was just trying to see where it went
We
wrong.
have to. We really have to put in a lot of effort to salvage this. This is terrible already.
Yeah. Just seeing if. Yeah, at at g7 maybe was a bit too quick. So at c7 instead of at g7, it's saying maybe the queen sack was a bit early, but it was still decent. And then finally, maybe the mistake that killed us was taking that bishop.
No. E5.
e5.
We have to close out that diagonal. Yep.
Okay, so we can't castle, but we can build because it's Crazyhouse around our king. So maybe that's the thing to do.
If he gives us pawn.
So
Good
maybe
part is, the holes around the king are protected by the awkward knights. Yeah.
so develop the queen, maybe. Queen f6.
Developing the queen is a good idea, but where does it go?
Queen f6.
Okay, queen f6 and e6. Yeah, queen f6 and queen e6 looks good. So we prevent the e7 idea.
He wants at g7. Is the only problem.
Okay, that's okay. I would love to buy out that pawn and knight so cheap.
CrazyHome loves his knights. Hi there, Giswold. C5 looks bad. C6 may be better. E5 I don't like either. So C5, E5. Yeah.
The problem we have is where to develop our bishop.
Can we get our knight out?
Okay,
Knight B6, maybe.
let's not worry about the knight right now because it's doing some useful stuff on c7 and e7. So let's go queen
No,
e6.
the other
Let's get the
knight,
queen
the
stable.
knight on A8. But okay.
About it right now. Let's take the queen to e6 and see what it does.
Okay, pawn at E5, D5, pawn at D5.
No, the queen e6.
Queen E6,
Okay,
he goes.
queen e6,
There are
pawn
two
on
things.
d5. Okay, if you want to waste a pawn, I don't mind going there.
He can go pawn at G7.
That traps the rook, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's get the bishop out. Bishop d7 maybe, or bishop c6. I don't know. Have to watch out a little bit because once we take that bishop off the board, he's going to come in on b5. Okay, he's doing something.
Just ignore it. B6. Or
Uh, 6 or b5.
B6 is kind of funny.
6
Yeah,
or
B6.
maybe pawn,
I
or
like B.
maybe pawn into pawn and knight c7. b7. It's coming in too fast.
Is it?
b6. I don't.
B7
Not
takes
very
queen.
convinced, but anyway.
Yeah, maybe takes into knight C7.
Yep.
You think that'll
Goes
work?
queen b7. The queen b7 is like how do you protect that
Oh yeah.
bishop pawn?
Queen
Yep.
B7. So what are we going to go for?
Awkward position.
B6?
If I go,
Yeah, B6 is good.
let's
Closes
go b6.
closes diagonals as well on the king.
Be ready to run like TT to the king side when it's time. I
Yeah, well, I'm not sure about that, but okay.
think we have a decent idea of knight c7 and bishop b5.
Yep. Knight C7, then knight takes D6, unfortunately, so he saw it.
Knight takes d6 is never possible because queen and knight are both protecting that.
Not if you go knight C7.
Knight c7, knight a8 to c7.
Yeah, then knight takes D6.
Mm, Knight takes d6, or
Or queen takes D6.
what happens if it? Yeah, the bishop. That's not a rook on d1. That's a bishop.
Oh yeah, the knight's protecting it. Okay, so knight C7 is good, yes?
Let's try.
Yes. Yeah, we're playing a bit slowly, I'm sorry.
You're seeing ghosts.
I'm seeing ghosts, yeah. I'm not I saw that the bishop was protecting a pawn on D6, I didn't notice the knight was also protecting it.
Potentially now we have a move like bishop b5. Okay, so he prevents bishop b5.
Or
Uh,
discourages it.
let's see. Which piece do you want to kick out now?
I want to go bishop B5 anyway.
I don't know. Do you want to? Uh, b5 is too costly. Now, what I'm saying is that do you
Well,
want to play a move like pawn b5 and try to round up that pawn, or should we try something else?
yeah, pawn B5 is nice
What
as well.
about a really Lame duck move like e6, pawn at e6. Where does the knight go? Not very.
To be honest, I quite like bishop b5.
Yeah,
Takes, takes, takes.
b5. You like bishop b5?
Yeah, but what's he got? Maybe we're losing too much. Yeah, okay.
It's okay because bishop b5, queen into b5, knight into b5, bishop b5. You have queen f4 check.
Yeah,
But then queen f4, bishop f4, and then it's looking silly. Uh, what's the point of bishop b5?
yeah. I guess those two pieces are not just any old two pieces. They're probably some of our best. Some of our best.
We should do something
So
about this
b5
too.
then.
Yeah, we should do something.
b5.
Also, I'm a little skeptical. Let's just think. You know, the move is a little too slow, and you should understand that he's coming in with bishop b4 next. Next move is going to be bishop b4.
Yep.
So why don't we move the knight out
I have an idea. I
to
have an
e6?
idea. No, it doesn't work. Sorry, nothing.
Yep.
No, sorry, it didn't work. No, b5 is
No, no,
nice because
knight e6.
b5. Bishop b4. Oh,
Knight
that's
e6.
fine. b5. If bishop b4, we've got at c5.
The thing is, I don't want to drop the only pawn that I have. Let play knight e6 quickly, please. I think we are running out of time.
Okay.
Four or knight c5 is what I'm. See, basically, my thinking is
Nice move. Nice move.
knight. Yeah, knight c5 is better than knight c7 anyway, and we are attacking f4, which is sort of a weakness in this position. So if you can get that bishop, that will be nice.
Yeah. So we have choices now.
So now I have the idea of knight c5 as well as knight f4
Yes.
position. Yeah, it's a very dirty position. I mean, I will not otherwise.
Well,
This is
okay.
ugly.
Should we go for it? Knight c4. Knight f4.
F4, knight f4, and yeah, everything is protected. Go. Looking bad now. I mean, it is bad, but it was looking very ugly earlier. If I can do something about my next problems are my rooks. If I can do something about my rooks, I'll be very happy. Okay, go knight into e2. Oh, okay. He's wanting to come in at b7 with my knight once I give it to him. Greedy guy.
Yeah, no rush about that.
I think no. What I'm thinking is knight into e2, and then I go bishop b5, recover that a6 pawn.
That's true.
Does he have anything? Yeah.
Okay, let's do it.
check,
Oh, take the knight. Take the knight. Take his knight. No,
Take his
risky.
knight.
I was thinking knight on
No, that
f5.
c6.
c6
Yeah,
is
the
weak.
c6 hole is 2. Yeah. So just we have to close holes. I mean, crazy house is only
Bishop
about holes.
c6. Bishop at
Uh,
c6.
no, bishop b5. Bishop b5 attacking a6. A6 is more of a thorn for us than anything else. Yeah. Have to watch out because if we does some sort of exchanges on d6, we can move the knight
check,
last because oh shit, as e7 check will be coming. Let's see.
Okay, so king
One, two,
king to
three, four.
e8 seems forced.
King e8 is forced. Yeah, I this is looking a little awkward.
Well, the thing about
See,
this game
let's
is
see.
it can just suddenly change without you realizing it. It's like,
I was looking at. I mean, when we played bishop e2, knight b7 was the, I mean, obvious thing, right? I mean, once you
yeah,
have a hole, somebody
yeah, I saw it
push these
too, but
pieces in.
I don't think I
check,
don't think it works. I mean, I think it's just clearing out all our rubbishy pieces, isn't it?
Let's see.
Takes. Oh no, he's actually winning. Oh yeah, Yeah. Yeah, maybe it's okay. I have to take the first time. I have to take the second time. Oh yeah, and then
Bishop in.
you think bishop in?
Let bishop. Let's see if we can defend this.
So you
It's
think bishop?
scrappy, but hmm,
What next?
what next? We're just following. We can't lead now. This position is not for leading. We just have to
Yeah, but
follow.
so why bishop in? Because don't know.
I think he will take bishop into d6.
Ah, okay. But then that gives us bishop takes knight if we want it. Um.
check,
Okay.
Okay, he's taking knight into.
So knight takes.
Hmm. Knight takes seems okay. Have a choice. Knight into, yes. Knight into knight is forced.
I mean, it's his good knight for our rubbishy knight, so that seems
But there's
fine.
something. See that the moment he exchanges the knight, he gets something on c7. He should have taken bishop into d6, I think, because he's threatening knight c7 mate in one.
Yeah.
Bad move either.
Okay, this seems fine. Seems fine. We can do it. We need a
b8,
bishop. That's all. Bishop at b8.
b8 queen, b8 queen is coming.
Yeah, bishop at b8. That's what we need. Um, okay.
We get away by giving him a queen. Do that and get clean away, then I think we are doing good.
Okay.
When
So what do we do
he
now?
queen,
Knight f6. Knight c6. Knight c6.
queens is check. So that's the problem we have.
There's always queen back to d8.
Giving up your queen for a pawn, not a
No,
great
no,
idea,
no,
right?
no. Queen d8 before he queens. But then there's queen takes knight. Oh.
Queen to f2, but I'm not
Oh, oh, oh.
very
Is
thrilled.
there something else? Let's see. Knight takes pawn, pawn takes knight. Bishop takes pawn, let him queen.
That's why I was thinking bishop into, and if you can, but queens, and then if you play a move like knight c8, bishop into d6, and then it's just
Crushing, yeah. Okay, so we have to be sensible here and do something boring. Like what? Like
no
queen
idea.
d8. Queen d8, bishop takes knight at c7. Queen d8.
Thrilling.
What?
Lost on time.
I've got a minute left. So what do you recommend?
Position. It's quite
um, just bold in Twitch chat suggests take f2 and pray. That's not going to do anything.
yeah, that's like it's like the cheap shots that we take, right? In 1-0.
Okay,
Yeah.
I'll just do queen d8 since everyone's given up hope.
Oh man.
Oh, yeah, that's fine.
check,
He has a smothered mate. That's nice. Yeah.
you
Check.
lose,
Knight g7. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, well played. Okay, good
We
games,
give him
Oppa.
too much flexibility.
You want a rematch in the same position? I don't know if he has to go.
I
Oh,
think I think uh, I think he has to go.
Yeah, I think he has to go. But I'm just sending the rematch in case. But yeah, I think he has to go. Yeah,
Okay,
nice
well,
mate he found at the end, the smothered mate.
my game. I think the second game we did a very bad job of placing his pieces. I mean, he did a good job placing our pieces. I mean, it was pretty bad from the word go.
Yeah. So
Being in the center without being able to castle is like, very difficult. I'm very happy with the way we played on the first game. At least the first few moves, I think we had a good
yeah, it was interesting the first game. So
space advantage. Yeah.
White had a 2.4 advantage, so that was a fail on placement. Um, plus 2.4, but the killer move was bishop at b5. That was the killer move,
But
apparently. We needed something like pawn at e7 or something to solidify d6, and after bishop at b5 it was lost.
becomes about the holes in this variant.
But
Let's
yeah,
go to the previous
yeah.
game.
Looking
I
at the
think,
previous game,
yeah, the previous game is more, yeah, the previous game is more interesting
very
because this
interesting.
is like this was just downhill. Yeah,
So it's quite even. Takes.
uh, I really like our position, the way we played until I
Yeah,
think
it's true. We were like plus 3.3, for
knight
example, and move 10. So good play of the opening. But yeah, instead of sacking the
bishop.
queen,
I think
sacking the queen, just simple. Bishop takes rook was strong.
strong, right? Yeah,
Yeah,
that's what I think.
sacking the
You're right
queen
there.
was still okay. It's still okay, but you just let him sack it back is the problem.
Yeah. That was looking very flashy and nice, right? So
Yeah, and then
I
at
was wrong there.
g7,
Yeah.
at c7 was stronger than at g7. That was one thing. Then
How can
takes.
I see the analysis that you're seeing?
You should see it on the
Unfortunately,
game. It should show you on the game. Rook f1.
I can't see it.
People can see it on the stream as well. So you can't move pieces around. It just so you click analysis board. So you click the game and click, and if you see an analysis board, um, so maybe taking the rook. So taking the bishop then was the losing move in that game because he has this queen takes h1, which I saw, but I just saw that it wasn't mate. Didn't see. Okay, and then it's not forced
When we
mate.
have played, how was it up until the seventh move where we played knight e3 and
Yeah, even, very equal,
um,
equal, all the time equal. No real blunders. Just completely equal.
about bishop into d5, c into d5?
Yeah,
Does
which
that
is
favor us?
c into d5. It didn't even want to take back that pawn. It wanted to go bishop at d6 straight away. But taking into pawn, it said was
No,
equal.
I'm talking about the fifth move where we played in the first game. Knight d5, bishop into d5, c into d5.
Yeah, it didn't like bishop
I
takes
somehow
knight.
have.
So yeah, it didn't like Oppa's move bishop takes knight.
Yeah.
It wanted to go knight a6 and develop. So bishop takes knight gave us a tiny bit of an edge. Um, but how to get the edge? Maybe knight e3 to defend the pawn. But yeah, what we did was kind of okay. Uh, So it's still even, and then the only point it says bishop at d6 instead of taking back the pawn. Curiously, just stumping your bishop. Just like it's a very paralyzing move. The bishop is just a beautiful square for the bishop on d6, on move 7.
Mm.
That's a very beautiful move. But we took it, which is it says fine. We're doing slightly better. Even. Bishop g2 it likes sacking the knight. Bishop g4 yeah it likes bishop at h3 maybe rather than bishop at g5, something bit more defensive. But
At that point, I was even thinking of putting a bishop on b3. instead of moving my bishop, just putting another bishop on b3 and just going and attacking f7. On the ninth move,
Yeah. Oh yeah, going back. Ninth move.
b3 instead of.
So just to quickly say, yeah, thanks Oppa for the games, because Oppa's in the Twitch chat saying he has to go for dinner. Yes, we understand. Good games, Oppa. You played really well, and yeah,
Yeah.
the first game was really interesting. Second game was a lesson in how how it's Crazyhouse quite tough when you got a tough position, and a beautiful smothered mate to finish it. And Juicebold was saying Queen d8. He didn't like my Queen d8 in the last game, but indeed. I mean, he says everything was
That
everything
position
was
was.
awful. I mean, he was saying everything was awful. Choose something quickly. And then when I played Queen d8, he just kept on complaining. Oh no, you don't play a move like Queen d8. Yeah, good games, Oppa.
he he, he engineered that awful by putting our pieces in awful places.
Right.
On him.
So move 9, you were saying something. You said move 9, not get bishop g2. It likes our bishop g2 move.
Into e3. This was a nice position. In this position, his knight b8 is looking silly. His rooks don't have open files. His queen is stuck on f8.
Yeah.
There are holes all over the place. It's looking like Swiss cheese.
Yeah, we did. Yeah, definitely. Well, definitely it's looking promising at least, yes. Bishop at h3 was really strong apparently. Just get the knight. Don't need to sack huge amounts for the knight. So it was suggesting bishop at
On knight.
h3, knight takes e3 on move 10.
Mm-hmm. Yep, 11. Yep.
Or 11, sorry, yeah.
Move 11, knight f5, bishop h3, right?
Yeah,
Bishop
yeah.
at h3.
Bishop at h3, yeah.
Yeah. After the only developed piece. Yeah, makes sense.
Yes.
Even
Indeed.
thinking of a move like on g4 there, just to force him to take a decision with the knight.
So his idea with the
Because if
knight
he
is to take on e3. He really wants to take on e3. That's what the engine says.
But if I put a pawn on g4, then knight into e3 is not so good because you don't have any follow-up after that, right? So
That's true. No knight at g4, I guess. Indeed.
yes. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I can move very slowly after that. If you take on e3, I just take into e3 and then I can occupy the f file, or I can, if I want to be really passive and stupid, I can just play pawn f2.
Yeah.
Right. So it's
Yeah, that's
very
interesting.
solid. Nothing can be done with that. Yeah.
So this is the sort of thing where we should, yeah, if you want to play around with moves in more detail, we have to take it over onto Lichess, basically. I'll definitely put them into a study on Lichess, into a public study on Lichess, so people can have a look at the games.
Sounds good.
Okay, are you up for more? Are you full of energy, or you've had your fill of Crazyhouse 960?
I think for today I'm more or less done.
You've had
If
your
you
fill.
if you wish to, yeah,
Yes.
if you wish to analyze, we can analyze, or we can just. I mean, I don't feel like playing more games. I
Yes.
think this is a little, yeah, draws up a lot of energy.
Okay.
In okay.
Okay. What
That
I'll do is
I have full play.
I'll pull up just this game into a study, and so we can play around with um, so
Good.
and I'll just change the title if that's possible. Um,
You can edit a lot of things in Leeches. So if you
so yeah,
once you take
Leech.
it in the study, yeah,
Indeed.
you can edit. Yeah.
Okay. So sorry, it's going to take me a couple of minutes to just put it in.
That's okay. But I really like the pie chess idea, and then this is a fantastic thing by I think it is GB Tami who did
Yes.
this.
Yes.
Awesome work. I mean, I think the way he has taken our IDs from leeches, and I can't say enough about this. It's very nicely done stuff. In the future, there could be a fork in leeches, for this that for the development that GBTAMI has done. I think if some space they could code on leeches for just having fun like this, I think it would be a good idea.
Agreed. So let me add you to a study on leeches, so you can then.
I'll close the PyChess windows then.
Yep. And
Sounds
you're
good.
added in on a study on leeches, so you can freely move around the pieces, and it will record the moves, and anyone on leeches can watch. And let's see if I can change the title.
It did a very good job of placing the pieces and getting the stuff in first game.
Okay.
The first move, I mean, even without moving anything, the engine thinks that we are at 1.7. So we did something right there.
Indeed. So sorry, we're going to just retitle the stream, and then we're going to ready to go again. Okay, so this is a study. The first 3 games, a couple of games, were actually some hand and brain we did between myself, the Lone Wolf, and GSVC, and so I'm now adding in the game of placement Crazyhouse between Crazyhome and myself, teaming up against Oppa. And Crazyhome just said we were able to set up the pieces one by one. It took turns setting up pieces, and he's saying in the opening position we had a bit of a +1 advantage. So we did well setting up the pieces, certainly. So
It
I
comes
want
to
to
around 1.7. 1.7, I think. The opening
1.7.
advantage is,
Not bad,
yeah.
not bad. So we could start just by going quickly to your idea here of going at g4. Was that your idea? Knight takes e3, f takes e3. Is that the idea? It's an interesting idea, and the more Stockfish thinks about it, more it likes it. Queen h6, rook f1. It's kind of solid. Oh, that's annoying. I see. Yeah, the queen h6 is annoying because it's hitting.
No, but rook f1 is like, it's a free pass. You can't just fool around with just a queen, come around like that, because all of my pieces are open. I mean, both my bishops, my
So
queen.
why does this not work?
So
Because you're just helping that develop. Oh
bishop
wow.
d5.
Yeah,
Bishop d5 is
this is
pretty
quite
good.
interesting because you might do like obvious looking moves, and like actually it's terrible because the bishops defend all the key squares. Oh, maybe it's not
Not
so.
not I don't think we need bishop there. We just need to put a pawn there, because we need the bishop for the f7 diagonal.
Okay.
Or even let's think this over. I think we can make a move like queen b3 to attack f7, mate in one.
Queen to b3.
Well, or even bishop into h3. Why not bishop into
I
h3?
think it
Just
really likes
eliminate
bishop.
that.
I think it really likes bishop d5 because it blocks that pawn from ever coming to d5. So it's a little. It actually controls the center first. But yeah, okay, it's just an idea.
But the other idea, okay, here is that we can try taking bishop into h3.
Okay, bishop h3.
It's a
Queen
very
takes
very simple.
h3.
Yeah, bishop g2.
Yeah. So queen has to go back. And now.
Just to attack. You can play queen b3, or we can even probably take rook into f7. I don't know. Because all our pieces are developed. I mean, I'm just throwing stuff at
it's thinking
the d6.
it's thinking of doing
Yeah,
this.
No, see, seriously. I mean, rook into f7 because you can't take king into f7 because of all sorts of knight d6 and stuff like that. So then you block it, and then I drop a knight on d6 maybe, or maybe queen b3 check. No, queen b3 bishop is there. Yeah,
This is pretty cool because
looks very.
yeah. What I
This
like
just
about
this
this
this.
is what I like about this, by the way, Crazyhome, is how your intuition is doing better than the engine in this position.
I mean, if you see, none of black's pieces are doing anything here.
So Gisvold says Crazyhome is always looking for mates. Sometimes just grabbing material is okay. No, but I think what's wonderful about this is if we follow the engine line and we follow Crazyhome's line, the engine thinks for a bit and goes, actually it's 000, and then you follow Crazyhome's line and it's like, actually this is +10 for white. So that's why it's been quite impressive. Yeah, maybe bishop takes
Here,
f6.
yeah. See,
Then you pick out the queen for
this
free.
should be lost. Knight f5. Yeah, I mean, it's just dead.
Yeah, can't we
Gone.
just take the queen? I'm confused. So obviously we can't take the queen.
Yeah, before we take knight into f5, I mean, should we play knight f5 at all? Just let's see a moment. Uh, knight f5, knight f7.
But we went a bit too deep. Maybe the rook takes knight isn't correct. Maybe it is.
Yeah, maybe bishop into f6 is. I mean, rook into f6 is a little too. Just see here. Simple move like a f4. Is it too slow at f4?
So if we do something like at f4, oof, it's got ideas like this.
Yes, yes. That's not going well for us. Knight into e8, knight at c8.
So maybe rook takes f6 is right. But can I just see why we can't
Rook
just go
takes
and grab
f6.
the queen just for fun? So the reason we can't just grab the queen is
I
okay.
think yeah,
This is
because
mate.
he's got two rooks now.
Yeah, this is mate
Yep, he's
apparently.
got two rooks in hand.
So the point is, if you take
Yep.
with the bishop, it's a very knight at h3.
Remember, we looked at this idea. Yeah, I said that as soon as we entered this setup, that this the bad part about this position is that the knight h3 rook g1 ideas,
Yeah, yeah.
in the open.
But
So
rook
it
h1, come
leads.
on, this is tricky. So if king takes, then there's knight f2, and he gets two knights on. Okay, so
Okay, the
that's
other thing is the other thing is I know we should never have so many holes in our position in ZH. I mean, it's just a certain depth. You know,
yeah.
it's always good to. I think
Rook at h1's
here
a
after rook into see after rook into f7. I think our follow up has to be good. I mean, rook into f7. Um, let's say king into f7, which is the most logical move. Rook f1 check. Now, if you the engine played knight f6, did you play knight f6? I mean, okay, knight f6. I think here,
could just go at c7. It's suggesting. Yeah, at c7. And Gisvold says you could.
c7.
Yeah, and Gisvold says, what about something any of this? And just go at c7. Yeah, at c7 is good.
Seems simple enough because we don't have a clear win. We have very few pieces in hand, and so it's good to give away one pawn and take a piece.
Yeah,
It's there.
and yeah, this is just depth 13, 14. As you see, when I use the Chrome, it only goes like 417 nodes per second. Some people, when they use Lichess, they get something like 2,000 nodes per second. So,
Wow. Okay. because of the speed of their
I'm not
active
sure.
machine. Maybe the local machines are very stronger. Yeah.
It depends. I mean, I think it's. I mean, in the past, it seems to fluctuate. Like in the past, I used to get 1,500 or something, but it's gone down to 400, 200. It seems to just depend,
It also it depends on the server load. I
and
think
also
I
how
don't know.
much. There may also be an option of how much juice. There used to be an option of how much of your computer juice you are willing to offer. Um,
You can dedicate how much RAM, and
yeah, in the past there was that
you can
option,
go here,
whereas now there isn't.
and then you can say that bottom three lines, which is the menu. You click there.
Yes.
You can go into this multiple lines. You can choose
Yeah,
five
I
bar
usually go
five
for
or
3 was my usual, but I'm on 5 at the moment, so I'm giving you lots of options. Yeah, I go for multiple lines. Yeah, is good because it gives you a feel of what kind of moves are good in a position. Usually
these
three,
are, yeah.
usually 3 is enough.
Yeah.
But yeah, so Juiceball says he likes the immediate at C7, which was what the engine was suggesting. Uh, but yeah, I'm not.
This is also good.
Yeah, but anyway,
Nothing is happening. I mean, white is so solid, right? The idea of at G4 was that you see, if you don't give your opponent any place to drop his pieces, then what's he going to do?
yeah,
The same idea can be achieved by bishop h3, for example, bishop at
yes,
h3,
yes,
or even bishop at g4 is also the same idea, or bishop at e4. But bishop at h3 is not a hanging piece, so I would say that that's much better than
yeah, and you get
any
this
other.
happening again. But yeah,
Here in this situation, what did we do? We played bishop g5, and you remember we looked at even queen into f5 briefly, directly, just like that.
yep,
It doesn't show it to be bad.
not great.
It's almost equality.
Yeah,
The
but
engine thinks it's almost equality. Yeah, it's very interesting.
yeah, but
Yes, our bishop
we can do
g5
a
was
lot better.
good.
Yeah,
Yeah, but our bishop g5 was the right idea. I mean, it overprotected e3. It hit black on all those delicate. When he played knight e6, bishop into d8 was just a simple idea, and
yeah,
then
that's
you
what
do
I actually
whatever
I wanted that.
you know.
Because the idea if knight takes, you just put another pawn on c7. Just pick up so much material. So it's saying like knight b to c6, for example.
As well. Yeah, and the bishop can't be ignored as well, because the bishop or even at c7 or e7, it becomes a pawn there.
Yeah. So if rook takes, so it likes queen takes f5 if rook takes, by the way,
Now
because
queen to
e7.
f5 is very strong. Now if you play e7 at e7, yep,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. That's
h6
just
and to f5.
that's game over. That's amazing. Yeah.
You can't go king f8. Yeah, you can't go f8 because of the same idea that rook g8
Yeah.
mate.
So this was maybe an idea. Then takes. Uh, Knight takes for the same sorts of reasons. And now what?
To
Can we
play at g5, maybe,
at d2?
I don't know.
Maybe.
So
Don't know.
let's back up that instead of at g5, after into d8, if we play maybe, I like that knight on f5. Somehow I'm very jealous of it. Maybe knight g4 is very, very pragmatic, and
Yes.
keeps everything under control.
Yes.
Now we are threatening a solid move like queen into f5. Sort of solid move. Not everyone would call it solid. Yeah.
Yeah. So it's thinking knight at h6, pawn at g5, these sorts of lines. Or bishop at g7, pawn at f6,
G7.
pawn at c7, also an idea. But yeah, pawn at f6 I think is nasty. Oops, sorry, something went wrong.
No, no, don't worry. Yep. So
Well,
this is good stuff.
yeah. Yeah, was there anything else you want to look at?
This was one point, and I think we were too quick with at G7, right? I mean, we
Yeah,
we were too quick with G7. Here, even now, the position is very good for white. I think it's I mean, black is 2-3 moves away from any sort of attack. So if we had played anything on the dark squares, like maybe Queen H4 or even Queen H5, right? Queen H5 is also a good move.
yes,
H5 would have. I was just worried about a move like Queen G6 at this point,
yeah,
but maybe Queen H4 is more to the point. Like Master Tan says, right? If you are strong on the dark squares, just keep playing on the dark square. If you're strong on the light squares, play on the light squares. I think this is more to the point. Very thematic and very steady move.
Stockfish wants to do this. Do
It's okay. Don't mind.
you take it?
Not in a hurry to take that. Is I think why not at
It wants to
C7
just take
at
it.
that?
That's what it's saying.
Ah, okay.
And so you've only got a queen in hand.
See,
That's useless.
it sees everything. I mean, the machine is
Well,
crazy.
it just sees ideas. Remember, this is just low depth, so it's just ideas. So it's desperately trying to cover all the holes. Basically, that's what it's trying to do. And it still likes white, by the way, here, but it's very marginal. It's like 0-0. It likes white.
I think here after king in knight into f2
Yeah.
to maybe our at c7 idea is not bad now.
Yes.
At c7 here, or even at e7. King of the PC. I was at e7, so to e7.
Maybe no. There's an issue with at e7, which is that after this you're getting mated.
At e, yeah.
You're getting mated.
Yes, yes. I think at e7 is more at e7 is not good. At c7 is still. I think king into f2 is solid. Yeah, if he's going to give two knights, I think it's very good.
Yeah. And there's nothing else you can do. But this may be better for black, but it's just very hard to play with those two queens. It's very hard to play accurately.
But this is like having a very. I mean, this is a stranglehold on the position. We are threatening knight at f6 mate.
Yep.
So black
Strong.
is just on the back foot.
Yep.
So if you play queen g6 for that matter, like for example, knight e7 is coming. So you really have to watch out for e7 as well as f6. The two spots to watch out
Yeah.
for the knight drops. And
So that's why it does it with tempo. It goes.
even if
That's why the defense is quite nice. So that doesn't. So at g7 doesn't work because this comes in.
because of, I think knight e7, right? Okay, bishop into e5 is simple.
Yeah, knight at e7 is also good. Uh, this is also very strong. And then at f6.
f6. At
Apparently.
f6. At f6, yeah. Very simple and very strong.
So taking advantage of the pin. Yeah. And we have a second pawn.
It's
maybe.
looking good. I mean,
If you go at f6, it takes
and now
bishop.
bishop. Yeah.
You have now. You're just like a pawn short of mating, basically. Bishop takes g7. Pawn takes. Knight takes.
G-
So it's like this. It's you're getting killed on those dark squares basically. And meanwhile,
Yes,
your king
and
has
there's
no knight
nothing
checks.
to
So safe. Very nice. Yeah, that's very
the
pretty.
concept was right, but uh, we just, I mean, when I say we, I got more excited with the queen into f5, knight h6 idea.
Yes. So notice that this is quite beautiful defense, going queen f5, so it's checking the king with tempo, and then a second queen defending the weakness on e7. Because obviously knight at
Yes,
e7 would pick up the queen.
very nice. I
So
mean,
that's incredibly hard to find, like for a human
I
being.
think these kind of I think these kind of defenses usually Jan Lee's
Yes.
style.
Yeah. Yeah.
He finds these in his videos also he keeps saying that the queen is a splendid defender around the king,
Yes.
um, and he does it very beautifully. I mean, it's very easy for a computer to find, but for a human being to find, like you said, it's extraordinarily hard.
Yeah. So
I
actually,
mean, it's a sort of free thinking that not everybody can do, right? Just ignore the queen and its inflated value and just think about what needs to be done.
on my YouTube as well as my videos, I have a playlist of collecting videos, like collection of Bughouse videos, collection of Crazyhouse videos, collection of World Championship videos, and so on. And one of the collections is for Crazyhouse 960. I'll just put the link to the YouTube. And in there, you can find the first ever series that Jan Lee played against Oppa Wazen of Crazyhouse 960, and it wasn't on PyChess, it was on chessvariance.training, which was the original site to have Crazyhouse 960.
Yes,
And
I
Jan
think I
Lee's,
did see that. I did see that. I think um, I I think I saw that, and then there was the Jan Lee and TT versus the rest of the world,
well,
or something like
yes,
that.
yeah, indeed.
Wow, nice.
So
The
if you
way they
look,
think
it's
and
just
the
a
way.
half an hour video of him, and actually his original recording, he was testing out some new. It was the first ever stream apparently he did when he had like Twitch emotes and stuff, like subs and all set up. So he got his first ever donations on Twitch. But the original audio was apparently all messed up, so he kind of re-recorded it and did commentary over it, which meant the commentary is like even better than normal because he was actually focusing on commentating rather than focusing on playing. And it's just a half an hour video, and it ends with a game where Opera is completely crushing him, but he somehow defends and then just makes with one move he's already threatening mate, and Opera maybe didn't quite. It was very difficult to defend basically, and he ended up winning that game.
Psychologically, yeah, it's psychologically very difficult for a human being, when the opponent just makes accurate defensive moves, um, where you cannot go on general. See, generally we play crazy hours on general principles, right? This is the way it's going. This looks good. That looks good, but we are not used to calculating very deep, and it's
Yes,
very difficult to manage like that with Jan Lee because he forces you, because there are positions where you have to find that mate in 11, mate in 12, mate in 8 against Jan Lee, and he kills you with those calculations.
yes.
That's the beauty of his style. He just messes with you.
And also why actually as a beginning player I found that if I watched a Jan Lee video and then play as a beginning player, that what I didn't find it helpful for my because he does play fairly defensively but sort of almost teasing his opponent sometimes to like he knows what's safe and not safe, and as a beginning player you can't play that style exactly. Um,
Yes, and he has some very I mean, his thumb rules are very astonishing and very interesting. Even for that matter, I find that Jan Lee and Master Tan, I mean, their heuristics is so far advanced that man, it's amazing the way they just generalizing that I'm too strong on the light squares, my queen is doing a good defensive job. They just generalize and play some moves which is just out of the world. I mean, it's just awesome. it's
yeah.
it's
And,
beautiful to watch.
and I think that's what's great about Crazy House 960 is hopefully it helps us kind of better understand sort of the ideas of the game. If you can play Crazy House 960, it means you can play unusual positions, means you can play normal Crazy House as well a lot better.
I mean, that's what is interesting for me because I started off Crazy Hours. Maybe it's going to be 3 years now this April. No Bug Hours before then, no Crazy Hours. So I just started off, and what interested me was the fact that you could just attack and give respect to initiative and nothing else.
Yes,
The classical chess principles without worrying. When you see those morphy games, when you see those brilliant games which are pure attacks, and you don't pay respect to material or anything like that.
yes,
Eh, Not in the bad sense, not in the crude sense, but there's a beauty to those attacks. And when you see those things, and you can try and do something of that in Crazy House, despite you not being a very strong player or not being very good theoretically. One of my favorite books is The Life and Games of Mikhail Tal.
yes,
So in that, there's a very very nice game where he analyzes and he says that I have so much on the king side and I'm attacking him, and he somehow defended everything. This is not working. That is not working. That is not working. This is not working, and he gets very exasperated.
yeah,
And then he says, it's very very beautiful. What he says is, the only piece of mine which is not attacking is my knight on b1.
yeah,
Okay. And what he does is, with that realization, he doesn't change the position, he just plays knight d2, and then the variations just flow. So the next move is like knight e4, and then there is knight g5, knight f6, and everything is working suddenly.
yes,
There's absolutely no calculation. It's just a general consideration that all my pieces are working, except this one knight, which is not doing its job.
yeah.
And the moment he solves that problem, it just becomes like a beautiful piece of music. Things just uh, it's,
That's
it's
why
it's almost like mathematics.
that's why I really liked my fourth game last night when I was a piece up, but instead of going directly for for some kind of attack or taking more pieces, I made an effort to get out my knight from a8, and I ended up losing a piece getting it out because of the time taken. But my pieces were much better developed, and I ended up getting a really good attack. So it ended up really
I
nice.
think I like that combination that you sent with that e2 and at e2, and
Oh
the way you
yes,
cleared up the pieces around the king. That's nice. Generally, human beings do not see those kind of clearance kind of combinations where you the way you removed the e3 knight and then got it, recycled it back onto the board on g2, and that was nice. Very 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 nicely done.
yes,
So that's not something that's a little unusual for human beings, so to speak. And I think that when we play that such games, that's what gives us joy. And the worst part about Crazy House as it exists today is that there's so much theory that it's so exasperating, that you just get ground down in the opening against a comparatively weak player. I don't mean it in a pejorative way, but uh, in the truest meaning of the word, right? That's uh, not being having a superior mindset or anything like that, but I'm saying that that the person does not have the kind of depth of ideas that you have, but he just overwhelms you in the opening. That's frustrating.
yes. I mean, I'm not yet. I don't know. I'm not yet at the stage of feeling that because, but yeah, I know what you mean. But yeah, there's some players who
So
just beat you out of the opening with some opening trick or something. Yeah.
and you know that there's a lot of players up there in the 2500 plus bracket who actually, if you leave them in a original position, they will be tops 2200. That's it, not more than that. But the thing is, because of their opening strength, they are up there.
Yes.
I don't grudge them for it because they have put in a lot of effort. But the whole point of playing Crazy House is that you wanted some original play, you wanted to value creativity or just a win or loss. See, I mean, when you lose a game like this to Upper, there's no shame in it. Or I'm sure that if he loses to us, if we play a good game, uh, it doesn't work that way. Also, I mean, he would be happy to play that game, but to lose because somebody looked at stockfish lines deeper than you, that's a little, I somehow feel it's a little impure.
Yep.
So this 960 is a good way to go beyond that, is what I feel.
Yep. Indeed.
um,
So I was just showing on the screen the game you're referring to, with against Blunderman 1, with the Queen takes e3 was the, well, first at e2 at
mhm.
e2 twice, and then Queen takes e3. So,
Yes, yes,
yes,
that's a nice
it's like sacking your
the
queen on
way.
what? No, on the rook, on the knight. No, on the knight. Yeah, the knight's the most important. Yeah. Yes.
The way you pick up that knight with checks, everything happens with checks after that.
Yes.
That's a nice yeah, wrinkle in that.
Yes.
Good things. And I really think that is a good job playing. I mean, 4-0 washout is very good against uh, how do you pronounce his name?
JB.
GBGs.
Yes. JB. Yeah.
Yeah. GBGs. Yeah, nice, well done.
Yep. And if people want to watch it, check out
Good.
my YouTube.
Good
Just
stuff.
put the link in the Twitch chat. That was my last video.
It's an hour long video. So generally what I do is I just go and look at the games quickly rather than see the video, because it's a little faster that way and I
Yes.
can pace it well.
Yes. Or you go
I
playback,
don't
or go
usually
playback speed times 2.
yeah,
That's the other trick. So on YouTube, there's the
for
option
me
that you can
it's
play back twice as fast.
twice the speed. Okay, I didn't know that. Okay,
Yeah.
but then you lose the voice, right? So the voice comes out warped.
It comes out talking very quickly. It comes out talking
Okay.
very quickly, like this.
You remember the older voice things used to come out squeaky, and if you try to speed them up, it used to become like suddenly your voice will go, ah, it'll sound like that.
Yeah. No, not squeaky. Just like someone who talks very fast.
That's a nice trick. Good,
Yeah.
good stuff. So
Cool.
we'll try and catch up. I hope that your ZS 960 League matches go well.
Yes. I mean, I'm gonna be taking a bit of a break for a couple of weeks, but I'm going to be playing PKR in 2 weeks' time.
PKR is a very hardworking player. He has improved his game quite a bit.
Yes. He knows his
So
openings.
I
He's
think
one of those who knows his openings.
is
Yes.
that okay? Because I used to help him a bit with his thoughts and moves. Earlier in the league, I think he was around 1800 or something like that. But the
Yes.
way he has made progress is really good. I mean,
Yes.
he's put in a lot of effort. And, yep,
Indeed, yes, and he watches a lot of my streams and stuff, and also a lot of Pepe streams. So yes, indeed,
it's good. It's
great
good to
great
see.
member of the community. Yep.
I would. I think the thing that should happen for ZH, in my opinion, is um, there is a type of crazy house that weak players like you and I play. When I say weak players like you and I, we have a certain ceiling in terms of our chess understanding, right? So we play up to a certain extent, but it'd be very nice to watch and get more IMs and GMs into the game who have a different level of chess understanding. For example, if you see GSVC, he just, I don't know how he does it. I mean, he outplays people so easily, so easily. Have you noticed? I mean, I love his style. It's it's not about opening or anything like that. He just slowly and steadily just wipes you off the board.
Yeah.
It's
I,
nothing.
I haven't seen much
Um,
of Zixon, who is Firefly, on Fix, but if you see some of his league games, uh, so he wasn't necessarily. I mean, he. It's not like he won every game or something, but again, he he played ridiculous openings, but he just really
yeah,
played the game beautifully. Yeah,
he has a fantastic imagination, and he plays very risky, very risky. I mean, he's like one of those. He's like Vice Scorpion in that way. Have you seen Vice Scorpion playing? He plays insanely sharp positions. I mean,
yeah,
sharp positions. It's yeah. So Zyxon also is like that. His king will suddenly start walking, and it'll come to e4 and d4, and then it'll dance all the way there and then go back. He does some strange bloody stuff. I mean,
yeah,
he's a very awfully strong player, but he does some. He's a very nice player.
yeah.
Very nice player.
So
But
actually,
what,
yeah,
what, what I'm trying to say is that
the board one lineup is really something to look forward to. But we unfortunately we haven't had too many games yet. We have 12
yes,
teen,
yes, it'll be very nice.
12 teen, Fumitox, Zixon, Little Plotkin,
Yes,
JK the Bullfrog,
all
and Mugwort. Like, amazing.
yes, all nice players. I'd love to see some other players there. Um, but anyway, we can only hope that this gets more popular. But what I was saying is that if we can introduce some fresh blood into ZH by somehow waving some carrots in front of title players and making them play this variant,
Yeah, I know what you mean, because
that would be
you're
very
saying
nice.
that different chess players have different styles, and it would be interesting to see, yeah, to see different styles apart from just 12. At the moment, the top four is it basically it's just four really strong players: Jan Lee, Oppa, 12 teen, and Katask.
You remember the time when Siravan started playing ZH, right? I
Oh
mean, he
yes.
had his own unique way of looking at ZH, and I mean the setups that he used to play. You remember the setup he used to play with White? He'll play d4, he will castle quickly, he'll
Hmm.
go king h1, and then he'll bring his rook to g1 and the other rook to f1, and then he'll keep a bishop on f4. And have you seen that setup? I mean, it looks like, what the heck is this guy doing, but it's incredible that, I mean, I'm not saying that it is the best opening setup or the
Yes.
best way to play, but the way he interpreted that is what is awesome, right? It's not about how effective it was, it's about the interpretation and how interesting it was.
Yeah,
That's
absolutely.
I think that's the yeah, and that's what you can expect if you get really strong players into the game and they start playing more. Then you can see those influx of new ideas, and rather than play the same opening, the same guys, the same way, I think
Yes.
you will start seeing some good ideas and it'll be nice stuff.
Yeah, you're right. So that's something we need to figure out how to get more. Um,
I think a part of the problem is getting good prize funds in a couple of titled arenas and making them play. I mean, if it's a title arena and none of them know how to play ZH
yes.
and they slug it out, there's no harm in it. I mean, it's like first among equals, right? So it's okay. And you make them play with the experienced ZH players, and they will have their time of frustration and learning.
Yeah.
It's a different skill set. Let's see what we can do. Maybe in the future sometime we can drum up some funds and put together some funds and attract more title players to the game. Let's hope that we can do that.
That would be, yeah.
I think you would have some time in your evening to try and do something. I will let you go. I have spoken too much.
No, no,
An
you,
old
you can
man
speak
talking to.
as long as you like, and this is my this is the one time especially when we can do it, when we can do this. So it is good.
So what do other than teaching, what do you do? I mean, I have never figured out how you find so much time for ZH or chess for that matter.
Um, I don't. So basically, I've just been. Um, I don't normally. It's just like I've had. Um, Basically, there's sort of periods for a few days when I'm free, and then I have time. But in general, I don't. Um, and and that's because yeah, I'm teaching. I'm trying to get some research done, and the teaching doesn't need very much time. And so whenever I do get time, yeah, probably I then don't do research. I play Crazyhouse or something. But that's because the research is sort of like you can do a lot of work on the research and not really get anywhere. So it can be quite frustrating in that way.
So this is like a pressure valve.
Yeah, it's
What are
and
you researching into?
yeah,
If I may.
it's pure maths combinatorics. But basically, lately I haven't done that much research because I've just been focusing on the teaching or just like once I've done the teaching, I'm kind of too tired to do anything else, and so yeah, I might just play. A lot of the Crazyhouse I play is actually on the mobile and stuff. Um, Even like when
The
I'm
same
traveling,
problem that I have.
so it's sort of like in free moments basically.
Yes. And
So
usually the phone is what we use, and that's why, my hotel Wi-Fi is horrible, and then my mobile connection is even worse. So I lose a lot of games.
yeah, that's fine.
That's
Yeah,
good. I mean,
yeah.
I don't mind losing.
So Blunderman saying, what field do I teach and research? So I teach graph theory, number theory, and coding and cryptography. So it's to third year undergraduates. So yeah, I just came from that
Uh,
just now, and
Graph theory, cryptography. Nice, nice.
but yeah. So I mean, I won't be able to stream. I'm streamed. I've done a bit of a blitz the last few days, and I won't be able to stream again then until about a fortnight from now. So
Okay.
so people
Hope
have, so
you.
I'll be putting up a match against PKR, which will happen a fortnight from now on Thursday. So that's something to look forward to. But I might
Just ping
I
me
might
when
do more stuff tonight as well.
the
But
thing is, what happens with me is that I'm working here in Saudi, right? So my family is back in India, and usually what happens is I come back from work, have a call with them, and then try to sleep early, get up early, and go to the office. So
yes,
there's not much time for me to put aside for anything else,
exactly, it's
and
hard.
then
Yep,
it's a little hard. And then when I do find time, I feel guilty about playing ZH because I should be studying something and doing something so that I can. I mean, IT is like that. You just have to keep learning more and more and more and push yourself. Otherwise, you'll get nowhere.
yep,
So that's the thing. I would love to play more of it, but again, it becomes a little boring when you play the same opening lines over and over again, right? But so the ZS 960 is very interesting for me.
yeah, it's
That
fun.
you really have to think. You really have to think. You cannot make automatic moves. Um, it's like what you were calculating, right? A lot of times you thought that this is the D1 bishop is a rook, and that
Yeah,
kind of
exactly,
stuff
exactly.
which happens.
You have to look at what you. If you have a piece in the corner which you haven't moved, you just assume it's a rook. Yeah, it's like
Yes,
your
yes.
subconscious. Just
You know, for example, if you have if you have a bishop on a2, you're most likely going to treat it as a pawn.
yep,
You know, so that's the kind of problem that you encounter when you have pieces in strange positions. So if you have a knight on a1, probably you will think that it's a rook. Like what happened with you again, right? There was a bishop on c1, and you assume that bishop into queen. So
yeah,
These kind of things happen more often when you play with unusual piece positions. You
Yes,
cannot
which
depend
I
on.
just means
I think the most
just
dramatic.
means you need to do a blunder check. So especially the one really important thing, like after you're thinking, I'm going to play this move, is to think, what is my opponent going to do after I play that move? Because people don't always do that, and actually, what really brought that home to me is I was watching some video of Magnus Carlsen playing bullet chess. So it's 1-0, and he was
Mhm.
actually. You think a classical chess player wouldn't do this? He was moving a piece, putting it on the square he wanted to put it on, and then doing a blunder check for half a second, and then letting go. And
Oh.
because normal chess is played with touch move. Of course, bullet chess you're allowed to take it back, do something else until you press the clock. So it's not touch move. So, but it's just so you'd have thought just it would be almost like trained not to do something like that. But yeah, he was doing that, and it just kind of brought it home. You know, even the best players in the world are doing blunder checks.
Yeah, I think the most dramatic example is the 960 match which happened between Wesley So and Carlson, right? I mean, Carlson is like a demon in anything when
Yes.
it comes to standard chess, right? But do you remember the game where um, out of the blue, Wesley So played bishop into b2?
I don't remember it exactly,
It was a
but
two-move combination. It was a two-move combination.
yes,
Bishop into b2, king takes b2, knight c4 check, and the queen goes off the board.
right, right. So it's like Bughouse. I mean, I
Queen
think
was on
I vaguely remember, but yeah, yeah,
Queen was on e3. The king was on c1.
yeah,
The bishop was on h8. Black's bishop was on h8. So I think I vaguely remember. So he played bishop into b2 check. Bishop into b2 allows for knight c4 check and knight into e3.
yep,
Strictly speaking, two move combination
yes,
missed by the world champion.
yeah,
Like who's known to be. I mean, we all know that grudgingly or otherwise, we have to accept that this is a extraordinarily gifted player. I mean,
yeah.
no doubt about it.
Just because he wasn't
And
expecting it.
and
Yeah,
and that it's so strange that the mentality can change so much. So what I have realized when I my understanding of chess is that there are two types of good chess players. One is um, players who have an extraordinary visual memory. So they know where the pieces are, and they're not the kind of players who miss a knight move or a backward move or a pattern or anything like that. Their pattern recognition and board sight is perfect
yes,
because their visual memory is like absolutely flawless, right? And then there is the other kind of players who have good heuristics, right? Their sense of piece positioning, their sense of understanding, these things are at an extraordinary level.
yes,
Well, they know what to calculate. It's not about how deep they calculate, but they know what to calculate, right? So they don't waste their time with bad calculations.
yeah,
So these two are the main great chess players, I would say. So for example, there was I don't know if you have heard of the chess player called Rashid Nesmet Tidnau. I don't know whether I'm
nope.
pronouncing it right. So there's this guy. He's an IM.
Hmm.
He has a plus score against Michael Tal,
I see.
and I mean, if you see his games, they're out of this world. I mean, they're so
So how do you
beautiful
spell
that
his surname?
it's Nezhdinov.
Nesmedinov. Okay.
Absolute, I mean, brilliant creative player.
Hmm.
The most amazing game that he played was, I think, in a against a dragon. In a dragon setup, he what he does is, there's a setup where People play knight g4, and the queen is attacked and goes back, and etc. etc. He gave up his queen for two pieces.
Okay. Yes.
Opening, in the opening,
Yep.
okay, as white, and then just wipes the opponent off the board.
Right. Right.
See if I can find that game. I mean, there are so many beautiful games by that person. You should look it up. Absolutely brilliant. But the upshot of it is that this person failed as a chess player to become a GM or anything like that, because his own creativity was too much. I mean,
Too much. Yeah.
he thought, yeah. So if you look at Opposition, for example, right? I mean, there's no doubt that he's, I mean, a fantastic chess player, right? I mean, there's no doubt about it. But at times he starts thinking at the wrong juncture. He starts looking at things which shouldn't be there. Tries to find
Yeah. He's
things
very
which are
creative,
not there.
basically. Yes.
Yes, yes. So too creative for his own good sometimes.
Yeah. He knows that. Yeah. Because after all, it's for fun. Um, so I think I might have
Yeah.
found something. Um,
Rashid
Nesmedinov
Kalpitova.
against Tal. Okay, so are you on the Twitch? Are you on the Twitch or not? No, maybe not. I'm going to put it on the
In the
Twitch.
Discord,
I'll put it on the Discord. Okay,
Discord.
so um,
Yeah.
so you're in PyChess. So which channel should I put it? I'll put it on Chess ZH960. I'll just paste it in there.
Just said 60. Okay. Just said it's 960. I don't know how to change the channels here. Well,
It's the one where you gave me a thumbs up for my video.
but how do I go there now is the question.
Okay, I can actually
Yeah,
email it to you on Lichess. So let's see.
yeah, that's better. I think
That's easier for you.
I'm hopeless at
There
navigating
you go.
this.
So there are a few Nesmedinov studies, but I think this is the one you mean. So game chapter 4.
I think, yeah, against Chernikov. Yes, this is the game. So if you look at this game,
Oh, this is
absolutely,
which chapter are you on?
second chapter, please
Second
just
chapter.
go through that.
Okay.
Yep. Watch this. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
On the 12th move, okay, the move played usually is queen h6. Until then, move queen h6, bishop g7, queen h4, bishop f6, and it's a draw.
So it says
Okay.
I'm slightly lost. So which move?
The 11th move played bishop f6, attacking the queen.
Oh, you're ahead of me slightly. Okay, bishop f6, second to queen. Yes, got you. Yes. And the usual
You
move
know,
is
queen 6, queen h6, bishop
oh,
g7,
of
queen
course, yeah,
h4,
queen
bishop g.
h6. Okay, yeah. Okay,
So
got you.
that that's a perpetual attack on the queen.
That's a
So he
grandmaster
played
draw.
queen to f6, f6,
Yeah.
and then if you play g into f6, bishop into d4, it's like, pieces are too strong.
Yes.
So he played knight e2, knight into e2, into f6, and now he plays on as if nothing has happened.
Yep.
How he wipes black off the board. It's just beautiful. I mean,
Lots of
the
pressure.
way he yeah.
So his rook's hanging on move 21.
And he just ignores it.
Oh, but he's attacking the other rook. So
Attack the queen. Yep.
I'm just trying to think. Bishop takes rook. What happens after bishop takes rook? Bishop takes rook. Okay, I'll have a look at the line.
Bishop takes rook loses to knight g4 check.
Knight g4 check.
I think.
Yeah, and then
I think.
you win a.
Yeah, and then bishop into e6 is coming. Yeah, bishop into e6 is coming, but if you go to the corner, if you try to go king h8 or something like that, knight h6 check comes, and then again bishop into e6, and then it's slaughter, right?
Oh, knight
So
h6 is mate. Okay, yeah, that's what's going on. Yeah, okay, that's what I was
yeah,
missing.
so
So instead,
knight
bishop
into
e2,
f7
because
check.
attacking the more active rook, and he doesn't
Yep,
even. He just a check.
yep.
Okay. And you don't want to take that knight because then rook takes f7, and that does look awkward. And you're winning a whole rook basically.
Oh, it's mate. Yeah. So knight of rook
It's not mate.
h3.
You're just winning all the material
Rook.
if you take the knight. But yeah.
Yes.
So king g8 instead. Knight rook h3, rook e5, f4. So our rook's still hanging. Well, going for rook h8
And then what you
checkmate.
know, rook c8, he plays bishop d4. Basically, he doesn't want black to play bishop rook into c3.
No,
You
exactly.
know?
Yeah, that makes sense.
See. So b5, knight g5. Now watch this. This is a simple trick, but just brilliant, just the same. Bishop into f7, rook into f7, rook h8, king into h8, knight f7, king, knight into d8.
Yep.
I mean, the sheer brilliance of playing that queen into f6 and carrying it off, it's understanding on a different level, right? I mean, everyone can play tactics, but playing this kind of piece coordination and doing this stuff, it's magic.
Yes, agreed. It's a work of art. And that's the attraction to Crazyhouse, is we can make art almost like us mere mortals can make art sometimes in Crazyhouse.
Yes, that's the thing. So it's like uh, you get more tools.
You
you
get yeah,
know
yeah.
yeah, you get more tools, and then your hands are moving more freely, so you can, it's like suddenly you know all the geometry that Euclid knew, so
So Fisher is
free.
like my one piece that hasn't developed. Which one? Who was it? Fisher? Who did you say it was? Who had a piece on A1 which hadn't developed? Sorry, say it again.
Yeah, so I think I think I don't this I think the game Life and Games of Michael Tal,
Oh,
where
Mikhail Tal.
Tal
Yeah.
talks about B1. Yeah, that's a similar game. So it's very nice to read the old classics where they explain their thought process.
Yes. So I was actually
Even
I
the
started a series, by the way, of Tal Botvinnik going through the book Tal Botvinnik, of the World Championship match in Tal's own words. But I only managed game one, and then I lost. I did not. I didn't have time to persist with this. But my plan was to go through that whole book on stream.
it's very nice. I mean, most of these games, the way they think is more. I mean, it's more attractive than the game itself or the clever combinations or anything like that, right? The thoughts, the way the Boleslavsky knight came about, the way Boleslavsky understands that the knight can take the bishop and he gives up a pawn and then just outplays based on the d5 square, which became
Yes.
a classic, right? Later. And I mean, these kind of as Kasparov puts it, tabias, right? So the concepts, the ideas that they come up with is fantastic. Like,
Yes.
then they become standard ideas, right? Like for example, in the Sicilian, if white castles on the queen side, the standard idea is just play rook c8 and play rook into c3, and then
Right.
I think when I was a kid, I read a book which was which was titled "Sacrifices in the Sicilian," and a large part of the book was just that: rook into c3 and just play the game as if nothing happened.
And the other crazy thing in
So
this is
very
knight e4. Sorry, knight d4 rather. The knight d4 sacrifices. So even before the king's
Even
castle.
the yes, if even the way he has outplayed Poligevsky, very brilliant game, very nice game.
So you're looking at chapter 3, is it? Or
Chapter one is
oh,
Poligevsky
Poligevsky,
versus
chapter 1. Yep. So you can flip the board.
also a nice game. So watch how he outplays him.
So I see him taking on d4, and I'm like, ugh. As a King's Indian player, that's like the least thing you want to see. The worst thing you want to see.
Because Poligevsky was a expert in these lines, right? So look at the moves that he's making. On the ninth move, knight g4, and
Yes.
queen h4. Just it's not that it lacks positional sense. The way he values the after taking on d4, a lot of people will be lost for ideas. But as in the Benoni, it's very important in these kind of structures to keep control over the e5 square. So because if the knight is sitting on e5 square, you have fantastic control over and see how
Oof. So I'm up to the point where he's hanging his knight, and White
he hangs a
doesn't even
lot.
dare take it.
He hangs a lot of stuff.
Yeah. So the problem with taking it is
E3 and all that stuff, which is ugly stuff, which is coming your way. Take f into e5.
yes, bishop
Let's
to
say on
e3.
the
That's the problem. Yeah.
20th move,
Yes.
there is bishop into d5 followed by bishop e3, which
Yeah.
is
Yeah.
like
That's the idea. Yes. Yeah. Very
it's
nice.
almost like crazy. Yeah.
Yes.
See, the thing is that none of these ideas
I
are.
like
Uh,
I like the idea. White says, "I'm just going to go for a king run." Okay. Sorry.
and see the way he plays. It's not like black is got anything more than 0.00, but the idea is so powerful that for a human being to find a defense is very difficult.
Yes.
It's not that the idea is so powerful that it's overwhelming you,
Yeah.
novelty or anything, but the sheer brilliance of the idea commands so much accuracy from you that human beings are not going to be capable of doing that kind of calculation.
Yeah.
No, see, it's equal all the way. I mean, when the king is on e3, it's still equal. He
Yes.
plays knight b4, it's still equal.
Yeah.
And white loses his nerve and plays rook h1, and it just goes downhill from there. Does for rook h1. Who is going to look at a move like rook into f4? He attacks your queen, you go and sacrifice your rook. That teaches you to attack my queen. kind of thing.
Yeah, it's funny, isn't it?
you know,
Rook takes
it's it.
f4.
Yeah,
And that is the
I mean,
saving
it's
move.
okay in a
But that's the
bridge
thing.
game or something.
You see, attacking the queen has forced him to be creative and find like the only move in the position.
When rook into f4, and it's crazy.
But it's like if you don't do that, you're losing.
And he doesn't even move. Yeah, rook f3, king check, bishop g7. See, another silent move after all that mayhem. It's not that it's winning right away with some forced moves or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's not like you're getting bishop e3 check and then another check, 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 something is happening. Just a bishop g7.
Hmm.
It's like I have all the time in the world.
Yeah.
Brilliant stuff. So, I mean, can't blame white for playing something like a4. That's very difficult to think of a defense here. Because knight c6 is coming, knight e6 is coming, d3 check, sorry, knight d3 check is coming, knight c6 is coming. Both look very powerful, right?
So are we?
and I give knight
So which one are we looking at now? Knight.
the same that the Poligevsky, the first chapter.
Yeah.
If
What
you look
move?
at the 26th move when he plays bishop g7.
Yeah. Yeah. Of course. Yeah. Yeah. But now it's like the king is sort of cut off from running back. So yeah.
And there's and see the way he's playing the moves. Not even knight into c6. He just plays b into c6.
Yep.
It's crazy. Bishop d3, knight into d3 check, king c4, knight into b2 check. He doesn't even play knight into b2 check. Okay, d5 check, e into d5, c into d5, and stuff. I mean, the way he is attack is the awesome part, you know.
Yep. So
It's
actually,
not like a
move 27 a4 is very
desperate
interesting.
attack.
Move 27 a4 is very interesting because his threat in this position is simply to go b5 and knight c6 double checkmate. So a4 was
That,
interesting, but it turned out to be a losing move. But it's interesting.
but what do you do? What else do you do here?
So knight
Because
c3,
the other
knight c3
the other
stop.
idea the other i- yep, sorry,
Yeah, knight c3. You then
which
stop
is doing
b5.
the idea that is that you can play knight e to d3 check, then you have to come on the white square, which is c4. Then black plays knight into b2 check,
Oh, so white has e5
b4, and then
because that's not a double check. He has e5 to block, and then after bishop takes e5, king to c4, knight takes b2, king takes knight, and black's running out of attackers. Although he might still be okay. Bishop takes knight, king to a3, knight takes queen. You just give up the queen. Okay, so it ends up actually being black has only a slight advantage from having two extra pawns.
and see the funny part here. See the beauty of this. White has almost every single piece except a knight.
Yep,
Position very has a knight, two bishops, two rooks, and a queen.
yep,
He's helpless.
yes,
And
yeah, it's cool.
black is a full queen now,
Yes, indeed.
no less than a queen. Playing calmly moves like bishop g7. I mean, the way, I mean, it looks easy for us now, but I think to play this back in 1958 is a fantastic achievement. They have such a grip over the position.
Yep,
It's a positional attack, that it's rush kind of attack.
yep. I've had some fun games in standard chess as well myself, but um, because after playing Crazyhouse, I sometimes play standard chess a little more loosely than I did before. So I get some fun games.
Yes.
This is an example. Okay.
And go to standard chess because
Yeah. So it's been fun doing this CrazyHome. Was
go
it?
ahead, please.
Was there anything else you wanted to say? Sorry, I was cutting you off.
Looking at Rashid's games, all of them are really good. I think if you go to chess.com or anywhere, I think you will find somebody would have strung up a best of games. Some of them come with analysis, so you can just pick it up
So what site do you
and take
recommend
a
for
look.
that?
Really, just games.com is really good for searching up games, because what happens is it's like we go and make a list of what songs we like, stuff like that.
Yes.
The same way
Oh yeah.
in
I'm gonna send you a.
so the same way, yes,
I'm gonna send. Yeah. No.
same way in
People have made lists of like examples of minority attacks or something. Yeah. This,
this is rookie players like you and I who have done things, but it doesn't take away the joy of it. I mean, it's
no,
nice
it's
to
it's
see the
great.
stuff.
Yeah. So this is a fun game I played in the French. This is actually not so recent. It's from 6 months ago, but it deserves a highlight.
Okay.
So I give away the fork on purpose. Maybe I open it on analysis board so we can see. This is not a
Let me
legitimate.
turn around.
Yeah, I'm black in this. It's not completely legitimate giving up the fork. Um, but
Okay,
he
you
lets
have okay,
he lets me he lets me off by playing rook b1 instead of rook c1. So okay, so it's not.
knight c7. Okay, interesting. Rook b1. What's rook b1 doing? It's like crazy, like that. Should be forking it to knight into d4 checkmate. Okay, nice. Double checkmate. Thing is, when I look at this double check, I remember that no, in Crazy House usually we do not have a double checkmate kind of position, right? I
Yeah,
was
it
playing, I
has
think
it.
yesterday or day before.
The position where it most often happens, by the way, is suppose you have on a king on h6 and a bishop on
Hmm.
f7, and
Hmm.
you either get a double check or you move a knight from g5 to e6. And then g5 to e6 cuts the king off from going back to g7, and then with the bishop, you then take everything in the way. But you could, in theory, have a double check somehow. Yeah, that's not quite a double check. It's a discovered check rather than a double check. But that's a really
Yeah,
common
I mean
mating
this.
pattern. The bishop on c1 and the bishop on f7 combining to mate a king on h6. Like there've definitely been sessions where, like every Bughouse session of lasting more than 20 games, I fall in for that at least once, something like this. So it is a common one.
I don't like Bughouse so much, you know.
Yes, I know.
Okay, look at this game. This I'm not saying that it's a very particularly brilliant game, but this is one of the instances where I had the chance to deliver double checkmate in Crazy House
Okay,
with not with a knight or anything like that, with a bishop. So okay, taking this game a normal. He missed the see the tricky part of it is here when he plays knight h5. I played bishop g6. He plays knight into g7, queen into g7. He plays queen e3. Play bishop into g2. Okay,
so
king
knight
into
h5,
g2.
bishop
When I
g6,
play
knight
bishop e,
g7, queen g7.
e3, bishop into g2. He took it right away because it's I think very natural to take that pawn, take that bishop, right? I mean,
Yep.
maybe a more experienced player would just
Oops.
block it.
Oh, oops.
But anyway,
Yeah.
that's a very unusual kind of mate, right? So
Yeah. No. Gosh. Yes. You remind me. I have another example of this. We're going into this. Yeah. No. This is good. So I'm just going to give a link to people in chat to my blog. and because I'm going to the blog because that's where I have to. And at the top there's a guide to Crazyhouse. There's also an index of studies, and one of the studies was from the first round of the Crazyhouse World Championship. And let's see which one it was. Was it? I'm trying to remember who it was. Okay, Shaq Melanders against Krosky. Was it this one? No, that was a. Yes, this is it. Okay, so I'm going to link you to this current chapter URL. So I'm going to send you a link. There we go. So we're in chapter 7 of a Crazyhouse World Championship study from 2018.
Yes.
White is
Bishop
Matza and
G5.
black is Legion Destroyer. And it looks like a fairly normal position,
Man,
except the D file is kind of a bit open. And this is indeed how the game ended. Legion Destroyer plays
this is
Bishop
like that.
G4 double check and delivers mate.
Oh, man. You remember that this was a I think one of the most popular examples of this mate virus. He does something like this: queen into d8, and then um, into d8, then bishop g5 check, and then rook d8 checkmate.
Yes.
It happened in a real standard
Oh
play.
yeah, no, it's
So
really
that's
common in standard chess. And in standard chess, it's really interesting because often the mate is with the bishop, so the king could come in. You could get this. The king comes into c2, and it's the bishop which delivers the mate on d1. If there's a pawn on,
but
if there's a pawn here and the rook is blocked off, so
actually this chapter 9 and 10 is one of my friends.
undo
I
chess.
regret that I regret that I keep telling him to play ZH,
Yeah.
because he hardly played Bagaus. Actually, he has never played Bagaus, I think, online, and he has never played ZH except for what games you can see of his in
Yes.
on Lichess. Okay, so you can see that how many games has he played? I'm just wanting to check quickly. I think maybe 1,000, 2,000 games.
Yeah.
Very, very strong. I mean, the way he spots combination. I mean, he's not used to the usual patterns.
Yeah.
I mean, I think otherwise this mate anybody would have spotted, right? This knight g3 is a very standard mate that he
Ooh, I'm not
is.
sure I'd spot it. It's clever. I mean, yeah, it's very standard, but it's also clever.
It's a very standard mate, right? So
But
knight
you might
g3, and
forget you
then
have two rooks, for example.
you have two rooks and a queen. So much in hand.
Yeah, but it is easy to miss. But yes, I agree. And but
So
yeah,
the way he has beaten some people, I mean, you should look at his games. I mean, he is really strong. He really strong. Very natural ZH player, but
yes,
he doesn't take it very seriously.
yes, indeed.
He doesn't take it very seriously, and he doesn't play. But I've told him a lot of times that you should. But he got bored of ZH. He says that what is this?
Right.
He has thrashed people like Wempel and stuff. Without, I mean, how many games has he played? 5,000 or 6,000? Yeah, 6,000 games. In that, you can see his best wins.
Yeah.
CIW, Marriott, and easy. I mean, uh, and it really drives you crazy with because he is a very unorthodox ZH player. Nothing orthodox about his wins. and his play,
Yep.
a
Well,
different kind of play.
I was impressed by his opponent in this World Championship, who's the Russian Alexander 3. Um,
I have a
who,
doubt. I have a doubt about that player.
yeah, again, he just played for a bit and
Uh,
vanished. But I really liked his style. I mean, he had a very nice sort of chess style to his play. I mean, you see, game chapter 10 was Alexander's win against Andrew Chess.
what I found unusual about his style is that some of his decisions are not human,
Who?
which he does within a second. For example, um, against Anduches himself.
Yes.
Have you seen his first game? How I'll just show you. I think one game that he played, it was like, yeah, I think this game only. Yeah, see if I can find the game. I mean, opponent plays bishop g4, and you take h into g7.
So, are you sending me
What do
something?
you have in hand?
Are we
The
looking
same
in the
game. I mean,
study, chapter
the
10,
study
or no?
to 10.
Yep.
If you look at we, the 13th move,
Yes.
it's like
Takes
the
G7. Yep.
decision that he made.
Yes.
Yeah, the decision that he takes to take h into g7
Yes.
is is a primo.
Oh, I see. No, I mean he takes 8 seconds on that.
It's almost,
He takes
he
12
takes
seconds.
10 seconds to give up a queen,
Yes.
10 seconds, 12 seconds to give up a
Yes.
queen in that position.
Yes.
He doesn't have any material in hand. No material in hand. It's
But his king is very
very,
safe.
very strange.
His king
I
is
mean,
very safe though. So
no, but I think this is a very common. Um, I mean, this is a decision that any experienced ZH player would take.
yes.
But for a person who's just come in and started playing ZH to give up a queen casually for a bishop, that's very unusual.
Well, I
Very
think he
unusual.
probably has played a lot of Crazyhouse, this guy, but he just plays it in a very very kind of meaning he doesn't play for materials, going for like playing for position, basically.
Maybe. I mean, I'm not rejecting that could be the case, but I found it a little unusual.
Yep.
See his games, it was quite strange because the same person who was looking at so much solidity, then he loosens up his position, then again he starts in something. Even in this game, right? After playing bishop, okay, fine. If your opponent you decide to give up the queen, tell me why you would play rook into d1. Gave up your queen. You wanted to open up your opponent's position. So why would you not take g into f8 queen? What's the reason?
Well, to be honest, the engine likes G into f8 queen, so it's not an engine move. Rook takes d1. It's
That's
definitely
what I'm saying.
it's
It's
a
like,
human move.
no. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That it's really unusual. First, on the previous move, play h into g7,
He
and
obviously
then when
wants king
somebody
takes
plays,
g7. He wants king takes g7, bishop at h6, king g8 at g7, rook e8. This is the sort of thing he's probably going for. And then you're right. Like, how do you
I
finish this
don't
off?
know.
You really
Seriously,
need a rook to finish this off.
I find it very strange that you didn't take into f8.
Well, once you take the rook, the king is safe. That's the problem.
It?
Yeah.
No, g into f8 is like crushing for. I mean, white is crushing black
But you think queen takes, and you
because you got a rook. you got rook in hand, right?
Yeah,
So now you also mating ideas appear on board. But without the rook in hand, how are you going to mate black?
yeah, you're right, but I wouldn't necessarily know. I mean, also black is it's a dilemma because black is also a lot safer with the queen next to the king. So it, yeah, it's hard.
I found it a little too strange. The maybe I don't know.
It's strange, but it's also human, is what I'm trying to say. It's not. It's not. That's not an engine idea. Rook takes d1 is human.
Anyway, so anyway, he stopped playing Zedich, but I would have. You should see his games, other games. Just go into his ID and other games that he has played against stronger players
I mean, I liked
on
his
the
style.
chess
I was
platform.
enjoying watching his games in the Crazy House World Championship. I thought he had a very nice style to his play.
Bold and very imaginative play. Very unusual play. I regret that he lost interest in Zedich. I keep bumping into him. We are very old chess friends. So
Yes,
we learned chess together and we played chess from our university days. For almost all our lives, we played with each other. We are still very good friends.
that's nice.
Um, Whenever I bump into him, I keep saying that why don't you play
Come back,
Crazy
come
House?
back. Yes, indeed. So yeah, so I guess that's been the spirit of the stream. We need to get the standard chess players playing Crazy House. So if there are any standard chess players watching, you should try it out and watch the videos of Jan Lee and
Yes.
check out the blog link which I posted for some instructive content, some of like the mating patterns and stuff like this, and also lots of videos on my YouTube, all about that kind of thing. Hi there, Smash Time Fools. So I'll just post again the link to my YouTube. Um, Look for the playlist Crazy House instructional videos for like, basic stuff. But yeah, how to get the standard chess players. I guess yeah, they might see it's a Crazy House stream and not be interested. Also, they're also not likely to be frank to be watching anything I do because um, so anything I do is basically for people who are already Crazy House players. Um, but someone like Jan Lee, maybe he can bring in people uh, from the mainstream because he's or Oppa can because they are the best in the world in what they do, and so that there's obviously the direct attraction. And once people are in and engaged, then people might be interested in some of the commentary and puzzles and stuff that I offer.
I think the Crazy House as a you have this on combinations and I have seen your in ascending order of difficulty. You put skills. Katask has put something.
Yes,
I think Rapid Variants has a lot of stuff. I mean, a lot of stuff out here. It's very difficult to find those studies. That's a different matter. Um, but there's no paucity of material is what I am mean that probably there is too much material than other variants comparatively.
right.
If you're playing King of the Hill or chess or as a variant, there is not much theory
Oh, you're saying there's not much
or
on opening theory?
in not in terms of opening, in terms of how to play.
Yeah. So in other variants, there isn't much material out there. Yes, but in Crazy House there is, right?
There is a huge amount of material, right?
Yes, yes,
Comparatively.
yes.
In the world of variants, I mean, not in the um, um,
Yes, I've got 14 days of if you have 14 days of your life continuously of streams, not all Crazy House, but a lot Crazy House related.
so that's a lot, right?
It's a lot, yeah.
And if you look at Jan Lee, if you look at Atrophied, if you look at all this, I mean, there's a tremendous amount of material, and I don't think that anybody can go through all of them at any point.
No, yeah, it's
There's
more than humanly possible,
long.
exactly. And Jan Lee's got even more than me, by the way.
He's crazy. I mean, he has infinite energy for Crazy House. But
Yes.
so that's the thing that I'm saying, that but still there is a glass ceiling. I mean, no title players enter this variant. I mean, nobody's interested trying out,
Yeah.
because if you look at my I have you heard of Pragnananda? There's a
Yes.
kid called Pragnananda.
Yes.
Yeah. So I he tried Crazy House. I mean, he played a couple of games against me, and almost won against him. Maybe and sometimes I wonder that uh, are we too do we play too strong against players, and is it a fault? You know,
Yeah.
you know what I mean. So it's like, if you play too strongly, they will just get scared and never come back, right? So
I think they like the challenge
that
though. But yeah. But I
that's the
guess
thing,
they need to have a taste for the you know
Yes.
the combinations.
Yes, otherwise you will never come and play. So I think in between Vallejo, Pons, he also started playing.
Yes.
He was finding it very difficult. I used to try and help him to understand, but I don't think he ever developed a taste for it, so to
Well,
speak.
I think he did, but it's more something done for fun, like a flagging game.
Yeah. So it's a difficult thing.
Well, that's the problem. If you play it 30 0, you're not 30 seconds hyper. You're not really appreciating the beauty of the game uh, in quite the same way as if you play something correspondence or something.
Definitely, there is a difference, but I think most GMs play under 3 minutes.
Yeah, they enjoy it. They
Um,
enjoy it. Yeah, they enjoy the flagging game.
yes, it's not about flagging. It's I think the skill. So if you look at the really strong players, they turn out really nice games even in 1-0.
Yeah.
You know, I think below 1-0 is really tough, uh, but up to 1-0 and beyond is definitely good stuff.
Yep.
Really games. So I don't know. So sometimes I feel that more people should come and take up the game. The variant for that reason.
Yep.
See how it goes.
Well,
Hopefully,
I think yeah, it
more
needs.
people do.
It's going to come. I mean, it's going to come from the top, as it were. So it's going to come from people like Jan Lee, and even more than Jan Lee, it's going to come from people like Nakamura. I mean, Nakamura's played the odd game on YouTube, by the way, of Crazyhouse, and he just plays one game, and he gets 30,000 people within a day watching that video of Crazyhouse. Whereas, even if Jan Lee puts out a video, which is like the top video, his top video might only get 500 views over the course of a year. So, so that makes I think that yeah, you need people like Naka to be getting interested.
That's the thing, if you look at a person like um, Jan Lee, nobody will know them because it's not something that they get attracted to, and unfortunately the way ZH exists today is the same problem which we have in there is so much theory that by the time a person really gets going, you get frustrated because I mean, nobody wants to play thousands of games to just learn a variant, right? And it's stupid.
Yeah,
We are
so
just too
I
stubborn.
guess yeah, theory would people put grandmasters off because they already have to learn lots of theory for chess, and they don't want to be mixing up lines and
Yeah,
stuff.
why would they learn? Yeah, and it's not about just grandmaster, right? Why would anybody learn theory for a variant?
Right.
for example, I tried Atomic, and uh, I was put off. Frankly, I tried Horde also.
Yes, I'm gonna I'm
It's
gonna I'm gonna
uh,
have to call an end to the stream very soon. But yeah. So what were you showing me? So just one final thing. So
so what I was saying is that there has to be a quicker way to playing each of these variant. Then only it will be accepted. So
yeah,
in that sense, ZH960 is good. That uh, you don't need theory. You just need how well your pieces work together, and you can just play,
yes,
and then you're equal to anybody. I mean, you can. So for example, somebody can just come off the street. Let's say there's a strong IM or GM, and he can still play a very good game against Jan Lee.
yes, yeah,
He will
Bishop,
not lose in 10 moves.
yep,
So that's the whole point, that you have a good chance without having a very big learning curve. You just come into the game and you enjoy it, and then
yes,
you develop a taste for it. Nobody has the time to play for a couple of years and learn the game and then reap the benefits out of it. And
yes,
it's very stupid.
yeah, of course.
And I think that is what is and
It's
that is
what
what is destroying chess, right? And
it's what puts me off ever. I mean, ever getting serious about something like anti-chess, for example. So if you know that the engines have solved anti-chess, it's like, well, what's the point then? Even though human beings haven't solved it, and in practical play, it might still be an interesting game.
so it's like that. So my definition for feeling good is that you be able to come, take it up, and just play it off the bat.
Yeah,
For any game, the popularity of a game is determined by how quickly you can learn it and enjoy it. Candy Crush, right? I mean,
So, so Crazy House has one amazing thing going for it. Okay, as well as Lichess and the fact you can analyze your games afterwards, it has the one quality of a successful game, which is it. Even if you are a lot worse player, you can feel that there was a moment during that game when you might have won. Now, in normal chess, it's just likely if you play a stronger player, you're just getting crushed from start to finish. But the one really good quality of Crazy House that a lot of other games don't have, is that quality of, okay, I lost, but I had a mate in 3 at some point during that game. So it makes you feel, I was so
100%.
close.
I agree with you 100%. Okay, but what I am trying to tell you is that this is there are two aspects to it, right? One is at the lower levels, like people like you and me were like, if we like for example, we were looking at the game that we had with Operavision, and we were thinking that, okay, at one point we had an advantage, etc. We got outplayed, but still we did not bad. It
Yes.
was good.
Yeah.
So you feel good, right? At the other end of the spectrum, you have to think about the title players and the very strong players who have classical chess education behind them. They have a whole lot of knowledge. It's not just theory. They have a whole lot of knowledge, which is positional understanding, tactical, and etc. Right?
Yes.
So when they come to the game, the variant should allow them to become good in the space of 10 games at most. At most, I'm saying that is possible through ZH960, but not possible in ZH. Not even over 1,000 games,
Right.
which is bad. This is my point.
Yes.
I'm not discrediting ZH. Don't take my words for that. But what I'm saying is that the acceptability of a game is determined by how quickly you can come up to speed with it and start enjoying it.
Yeah. Well, I mean, by that measure, chess is very, very, very unacceptable.
No, but you spent already 10 years of your life learning chess. You don't want to spend another
Oh,
two
of
years
course,
learning
exactly. Yeah,
ZH,
that's
right?
true. And that's the funny thing about chess, right? Is how many people really do enjoy chess, despite that incredibly gradual learning curve.
That's the sad part about chess as well. I mean, if chess 960 came to the fore, then can you imagine how many people will make quick progress in chess
No,
and
but
how many people
I
will
don't even
succeed.
mean openings though. I mean, I'm really serious. Like, just even basic. So not yeah. So the thing is, chess. Just ignoring openings, like endgames even. The learning curve is so gradual in endgames because unlike in I mean, unlike a lot of other games, you learn it and then get better very quickly. No, it's a very slow. You can work on your end games for
Yeah.
years and still be very bad at them.
Here's the bad part about chess, right? So what happens is that how much time do you spend in end games? I mean, you learn end games one shot, you learn tactics one shot. That should set you up. Why should you have to learn the openings? Why should you have to learn the associated middle games for those openings?
Yes.
And why should you have to keep abreast of current opening
Yeah, yeah,
theory
yeah. Of course, it's so
uh,
annoying. Yeah,
for the rest of your life? It's
yeah,
you are condemned to keep learning openings again and again and more and more and
yeah.
more. No other no other sport, no other art, no other science requires this much of slavery from you.
Yes, yes.
It's finally a way of self-expression, right? So
Yeah,
if you are if this self-expression is going to demand so much slavery from you, then is it good? We really need to think about that, right? So this is the problem that chess has, and that's why most of us walk away from it.
yeah.
So I
So,
gave up chess for a long time. I
so
for
you
a
should
long
get in
time.
touch with Jarl, by the way, because you have a Crazy House 960 match to look forward to between each other.
Okay.
And he's in Twitch chat and he says, "I am learning theory for Shogun because Shogun is another game you can play on PyChess." Um, and he says, "When I played JK, I never feel like that. I just feel like a dumbass." um, anyway, so he's saying Shogun depends on if a player has Crazy House skills, but also skills with Knight Rook and Knight Bishop pieces as well as chess. So yeah, there is a new element to it which people quite like, the Knight Rook Knight Bishop.
I don't like the fact about the wilder variants, which include a dragon and a cross between a knight and a queen. And I mean, I don't want to get into the strangeness of those things, but I think that if you take ZH960, within the rules of what we know about chess, we can quickly make the transition
Yes.
and give free expression to our creativity. This is my argument for it.
Yeah, yeah. No, but there is value as
Newcomer.
well to all these. Yeah, I mean, I've been playing actually some S chess this week with Karagialis for the first time, and no, it's good.
Hmm.
It's good fun. It's good fun.
Hmm.
And of course, yeah. And then I saw some little thing about how a king and elephant can sometimes beat a king and rook. So an elephant is a rook and knight combined, and
Okay.
there is a certain joy in that you get these very beautiful positions where the elephant can dominate the rook and yeah, so okay, this is different, but it's pretty, and it's a whole new set of end games you'd have to learn if you really took it seriously, of course. But it has its own
Yes,
beauty.
I understand. Its own beauty, but my see the point that I'm making, okay, is that most people come to a site or to a game to spend time, uh, a few seconds of their time, like for example, you're waiting for the train, you're you are in between classes, you have 5 minutes, whatever it is, right? So in that time you want to make the most of it. You don't want to sit and bang your head against the wall and try to learn something. You understand what I'm saying, right?
Yeah,
So
I know what you mean. Yes.
that's the whole point, that you reduce the learning curve in any variant or any game, then you get more people to enjoy the variant and more participation, and it's good for the game. This is my feeling. I'm not saying that this is the only way.
Yep.
Like you said,
Uh,
there's a set of people who don't mind learning for the rest of their lives. They play chess. The set of
yeah, and then there's
people who get
another set of games they're not learning at all. They're just playing for fun, and they'll play a different variant every day, which is the complete opposite. And I think we need some kind of balance between those two. Um,
yes.
So I'm going for
Yes.
I'm going for a philosophy of one new variant every year. That's my aim.
Yeah. I think Madlonk is also getting into that thing. He's experimenting. He's playing anti-chess. He's playing
Yeah,
960.
I mean,
He's
I'm
playing
basically a
lot.
crazy house player, but I would like to get good at atomic, reasonably good at atomic also. Um, but not necessarily. I mean, just at least sort of 2000 level one day. Yeah, but yeah, crazy house
Go
is
for it.
definitely my focus. Yeah,
I
I,
I
I, I got
personally
to I got
I
to rush.
enjoy.
I got to really rush very. But yeah. Uh,
Okay,
but
cool.
we
Nice
had a really
talking to
great
you.
stream. Thanks CrazyHome for joining. Thanks to Opera also for joining in, playing. We were teamed up against Opera in some Crazy House 960. Yeah, thanks for the nice chat as well. CrazyHome is all wonderful. Um, yeah, wonderful talking to you.
Same. Take care. Have a good day.
Okay, bye everyone.